need coffee in the morning, gotta have the coffee. Wake me up, shake me up, dip me like a lassie. One sip, two sips, and I'm feeling so alive. Coffee in the morning, it's the best way to survive. Woke up in the morning, sleepy eyes yawning. Jumped out of bed, started the day, opened the curtains. Felt the cool breeze, the sun shining on my face.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you all can hear me. Let me know if you can. Good morning. Look at my awesome mods. Forrest and Pokemon, welcome in. Leslie and Billy's here. My chat is lagging on my computer here. I don't see them. Welcome in, Leslie and Billy. Coffee. Right, Pokemon? I've been up for a while, so I've had coffee. May have had a little too much. So I hope you guys had a great night. There you are, Leslie and Billy. You're showing up on me now. I didn't see you at first. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Oh, great. We sound good. Coming in loud and clear. Oh, which reminds me, let me go grab something off of Twitter because I want to show it to you guys this morning because it was pretty comical. I should be having a co-host up here anytime. Good morning, Butterfly. Welcome in. I'm looking for something on the Twitter real quick, guys. I don't know if I saved it yet or not, but it's easy to find. Here we go. Okay. While we're waiting on some people to come in, I'm going to go ahead and show this to you guys because it made me laugh so hard. This is a Twitter post by Brandy Churchwell, and I couldn't help but give it the laughy face, and Kay put a heart on my laughy face because this shit was epic. All right, if y'all can see that, where's my volume? Okay.
With Alex Cox to kill my husband, Charles Mallow.
It's just, oh my God, is it going to be loud enough? I hope you guys can hear it.
Did you see or hear or personally witness me conspire with Alex Cox to kill my husband, Charles Mallow?
No, but I saw a ton of evidence that did.
Thank you. No further questions.
Damn! God.
When that shit funny, y'all. Hold on, I gotta send Joe the link.
Me conspire with Alex Cox to kill my husband, Charles Mallow?
No, but I saw a ton of evidence that did.
Could y'all hear that very well? It's just the way the judge's face looked and the way they did that video. I thought that shit was funny. Hang on, guys. I got to send Joe the link. I accidentally forgot to do that. Okay, here I'm coming, Joe. There we go. All right, now we'll get him up here. Lord. So I think we were all very pleased with the way Kay handled herself on that witness stand yesterday, right? Between her and Nancy Joe, Lori didn't stand a damn chance. Oh no, flip-flops. Hope you get some rest later. Listen in. We'll be here. Yeah. Truth. That shit cracked me up when I seen it. I was like, man. And somebody else did another one of just the judge, right? And he's sitting there and there. I forgot what song they used, but it was pretty comical. Good morning, my co-host. I forgot to send you the link. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
I was like, "Was he good? Is he coming up or not?" He must have got busy. And then I saw your message. I was like, "Oh damn." Thought I had everything ready to go. We were just watching a little clip off of Twitter that someone made about when Kay was testifying.
Yeah, we all wanted to be like that. We all wanted to be like that, and we all wanted to be like that in the gallery. Like, damn.
I know, right? We were all we were doing that here. It was like, well, Jeff, that's because you didn't tune into the right place to watch it, buddy. No, I'm teasing. We got it on the plate. We got it. It's on there yesterday. You can go look at yesterday's live and see it. It was epic. Um, Lori seemed very afraid, is my first reaction. Right when she went to question Kate, she got real shaky. Her voice was all little girlish, like she was a different Lori versus the Lori who was questioning Nancy Joe. Right? Like, what was your take on that?
Oh yeah, yeah. She was not coming at Kay because she knew it'd come right back.
You know it. I mean, Kay's been waiting for a long time to come back at her.
Yeah, and I didn't. I wasn't at Idaho, but I heard from people that were at Idaho that she was much more confident in testifying this time around than she was in Idaho.
Oh, she was. She's had a lot longer to sit with it now, too. And she's had a lot of trial prep. That makes a big difference. When you first walk into something like that and you've never had to deal with that before in your life, that's a whole different experience, And she's tired of Lori's shit, plain and simple. I don't think it's hard to hide after a while, especially for someone like me and Kay. We're like, bitch, be gone. Okay, so as you guys know, I've been talking about it. There was some new things dropped in the Delphi case. Things that we didn't get to see in any kind of discovery, any kind of hearings. We're getting things trickling out in these Koberger hearings and in these filings and these and that. Only thing that ever got out in the Delphi filing was the police investigated Otis, right? And, a bunch of botched up shit they did. Now that the trial is over and the man's been convicted to 130 years, we heard from others' descriptions of what these so-called jailhouse interrogations looked like and what these phone calls sounded like. And they didn't do them any justice. People tried real hard, and a couple of them came close. But the media didn't come close at all. And I'm sorry, Mr. Holman, but I don't know if that was really the Reid technique you were using or the Holman technique. It was hard to watch some of it after knowing all that I know. And the way they made particular instances during the recording sound on the witness stand, like from their own testimony, the state. Holman's testimony doesn't line up with what I'm seeing in this video. Mullen's testimony did not line up with what I'm seeing in this video. And it's insane. Which every single time women keep sweetening their voices or their child clothing as an end grinds your gears. I'm telling you, goodness. Thank you, Forrest. So, Joe, you've been so busy with all your Lori coverage the day in court all day and then doing your recaps at night. You have not had a chance to really look at any of this stuff in Delphi, have you?
You are correct. I'm brand new and fresh to it. I've seen like maybe 30 seconds of it, maybe.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's a lot, dude. Now I get I get why they brought the guy in, back in after 5 years, found your name in a tip box in a drawer and all that shit. Get it? It's what all they continued to do. And I've watched a lot of interrogations. Joe's watched a lot of interrogations. We get the good cop, bad cop guy. I think a lot of us that follow true crime and have watched different things, we get it. It's been driven home in movies and stuff like that. Good cop, bad cop. What Holman... Well, I'll get to that when I show it. Right now, we're going to start with the first one because this was done on October 13th before his arrest. And this one was an interview with Steve Mullen and Tony Liggett. Now, Mullen is with the the Delphi Police Department, right, Joe? And Liggett's with the Sheriff's Department. He's the Sheriff's Office.
Correct.
Right. So you got one cop here from the city police department, guys, and then you got one here from the county. And oops, that's the wrong screen. Let me back out. Hit the wrong button. We'll show you which one is which when they come up on the screen. Let me get that up here. Okay, so this is the interrogation room at the Delphi Police Department. There's Mr. Mullen, there's McAllen, and Tony Liddy.
I don't know if I gave you one of my cards. There it is.
Investigation room is a folding table and folding chairs.
Dude, guess what? I got that kind of folding table too. Here in the South, we keep them in the yard in the shed. That way, in case we have a cookout, we can bust out with a table. My sister got like 5 of them damn things.
I wouldn't be surprised if that doubles as a cookout when they have their little.
You know it.
Together.
This is the police grilling out table. Come on, boys, let's go out back and grill us a pig. Pig roast. Oh, that just reminded me of Sleuthy's title when she roasted Holman. Okay. Y'all can tell. I'm just going to go ahead and be quite up front with all of you watching in case you do not know. Joe and I feel some kind of way about these guys, this law enforcement team. I do not come out of the gate feeling that way about law enforcement in any of these cases I cover. You won't hear me pop off out the gate with, oh, conspiracy, cover up. No. I need time to get there. We got to have information. We got to have court documents and all the things to help get us there. People who didn't pay attention to Delphi won't get what we're talking about. So if you think that we're being overly, I don't know what the proper word would be, just know we're not. We put a lot of time into this, and we feel the way we feel because of all the shit we've seen go down and what we heard at trial. We're basing it on that. And so, yeah, we've both done plenty of past streams on the subject. Delphi, we would go back and forth between my channel and Joe's. So you can take a look at both of our playlists and videos and get caught up if you are into that. If not, we get it. Not everybody follows every case. But today we are in Delphi. We are not over in Idaho, and we're not over there in Arizona.
So the reason we wanted to talk to you is about the accountability case. And appreciate your time in doing that. And as a formality, before we talk to anybody about these things, I want to make sure you understand you're not under arrest or anything like that, okay? And the door here is open. You can leave anytime you want. I'd be glad to give you a ride back or whatever.
Why is that funny? Why is that
funny? We need to make sure that we go cover a formality here. And
why did they laugh? Why did they laugh when they said we could give you a ride back?
Because I think I don't know if they had taken the car at this point, or they hadn't yet. But because we're going to hear a little bit more about that. I don't know why they thought that shit was funny. They're trying to play him like we're going to be your pals right now. Wait till you see the Mullins interview, dude. It's worse. Oh, thank you, Sinead. Thank you very much for your support. A pile of poop with a face. Oh, are you talking about Lori? Because I know y'all were still talking about Lori a little bit. Okay. Yeah, Joe, it's going to get rough. Interrupt whenever you feel like it. Oh. Well, welcome in, Wrestle Plunge. I don't know if I've seen you in here before, but we are glad you popped in. All right, we'll play this back. Like I said, Joe, feel free to interrupt whatever you need to. I get it.
We get to the page here where it's at. This is a Miranda warning. So before we ask any questions, you need to understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask any questions and have it with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, we'll be appointed for you for any question if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering anytime. You also have the right to stop answering anytime you talk to a lawyer. And like I said, you're not under arrest, so just want to make sure you understand those rights. Down here at the bottom it says, I read this statement of our rights and I understand our rights. I do not want a lawyer at this time, and I understand what I am doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me. If you'd be willing to talk.
Well, truth. If the state of Indiana had been willing to spend the 10 grand that it would have taken to maybe do a height analysis, they'd know for sure. I don't know. Bridge guy doesn't seem too short.
With us, or
No.
just if you understand your rights, we just need your
Reach
signature
out.
there to be sure.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of people have tried, a lot of YouTubers have tried to establish height on Bridge Guy. A lot of people did a really good job on trying and explained how they did their experiment to come up with what they came up with.
When I
And-
did mine,
Yeah.
it was 5'7" to 5'9" is what I came
And
up
that
with.
is what most people are coming up with, Joe, between 5'7" and 5'9". Of the 3 years I've been covering this and seen all the different analyses out there, including you, Mr. Steve, gosh, YouTubers I can't even name right now, but people I don't even know like that. But that's what all the conclusions were. And all the state had to do, if you really wanted to know how tall your perp was pay for it. And I don't think 10 grand in the big scheme of things, what this trial ended up costing the state, it probably would have been a really good idea, especially 5 years with no arrest, right? Oh, come on. Every time we stop and restart.
Okay.
Oh,
This is a formality we take care of whenever we talk to anyone.
We're just going back to the beginning of the case, and we know you had talked to Lieutenant Doolin. We just want to figure out what you saw when you were out there before.
going back to the beginning of the case. No, you didn't. Quit lying to the public. Kathy found a tip in a box in a drawer with this man's name on it that Dan Doolin signed and turned in, knowing full well what this man looked like he interviewed. Never told y'all, his buddies, his co-worker police officers, hey, that guy I went and interviewed in the parking lot the other day, he might look like this guy on this video. But no, Dan didn't do no such thing. Not in 5 damn years. The reckoning in Carroll County is all I can say, Dan Doolin.
Great, wonderful. Okay. Now, Tony brought up something that you had done when initially you had talked to Lieutenant Doolin. And according to Lieutenant Doolin, the information he got to you from you was that you were on the trail between 1:30 and 3:30. Does it make any sense? Okay. And that you had parked at the old Farm Bureau building. I think that may have been the old welfare office out there. Well, while at the Freedom Bridge, you saw 3 females and noted that one was taller and had black or brown long hair. This is basically what he had written down. Okay. And maybe even got some information about your phone or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. So now you understand everything, so I want to make sure that we just kind of get some information from you. We get started here off the bat with today's date, which is Thursday. And today is 10/13 of 22. What time do you have, Tony?
It's 11:15.
10:45. And your full name is?
Richard
H-A-R-D.
Matthew Allen.
That's A-L-L-E-N.
Mhm.
Okay, and how old are you now?
50 years old.
Okay. Your date of birth?
9/9/72.
Okay, great. Could I ask you to write down the social number where the X is at right there?
I'm in the 50-year-old club this year.
I'm beyond that, actually. So.
Just turned. No.
Sorry. Hard to believe.
Get over it. You're getting old, all y'all.
And do you know your driver's license number off the top of your head?
No.
Don't worry about it. The home address, I didn't get it when I was out there. What is it?
1967.
67.
Whiteman.
White man.
Drive.
Okay. And a phone number you can be contacted at?
317.
612-4533. Would you like a water? I got one right here, John. Oh, okay, sure. I'll be right back.
That's weird that he had a 317 number.
Is it? Because it's not. Is that out of state area code?
Yeah,
or
that's Indianapolis, and it has been Lafayette area and surrounding communities are usually 765 area code and have been since like the 90s. So I wonder that I'm not going to call it a burner phone, but I'm wondering how he got assigned a 317 number. It's a curiosity to me. Doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Let me ask you this: is Peru under that same area code?
Yeah, they might have changed since then. They eventually split off 765 north of certain line north of Lafayette.
Okay.
They may be like a 219 now. I'll have to look that up. Eventually they split. I don't know what it was in 2017 or this interview isn't that long ago. So yeah, it would have split by then.
Interesting. Yeah, Pokemon, what is that? I don't know either. I saw that last night. I'm like, this is a big old blank ass wall with this one weird ass picture. Okay.
And do you have any of their cell phone numbers that you can be contacted by?
I got my wife's number,
Okay, what's her phone number?
317-612.
Yeah, Kathy had 317 also.
Okay.
Never dial numbers anymore.
You know, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Maybe if they had like a prepaid plan or something, you know what I mean?
Or maybe they went down to Indianapolis to get their phones.
Yeah, they could have done that. There's a lot of people, even that I know that I've known for years right here, they got these random area codes. I'm like, why do y'all not have our Florida area code? What's up with that shit? They don't know. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, okay. And how long have you had that phone number that your 317 number?
I believe I got it when I worked at Indy, so it would have been prior to 2006.
So, did he just say when he worked in Indy?
Hold on.
What are you doing? Are you looking at something?
Yep. Sorry. Yeah, I was looking at area
You're good.
code. Sorry. Yeah. He just said, I believe I got that when I was working in Indy. So I was right. They bought their phones down in Indy.
Right. Good call. So was that with the Walmart? Was that the Walmart job, right?
No, the Walmart was in Lafayette, Indiana.
That was in Lafayette. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, now
Right across from the Burger King.
now we understand why he got that area code. Awesome. Thank you.
Because it's an Indy number.
Okay. Okay. So, let's see. And can I ask what kind of phone do you have?
Okay, Truth, honey, you are so welcome to all of your thoughts and comments, but we're just going to disagree a little bit on them, okay? So it's all good, though, because trust me, I've seen it all. Joe has seen it all, and I'm going to take it. You've seen a lot. So if you're comfortable and convinced he's a bridge guy, that's fine. We are going to have to agree to disagree on this one. He could be bridge guy, doesn't mean he did anything. Exactly, Pokemon. I've said that the entire time. That could very well be Rick Allen on that bridge because he said he was out there. He said he went onto the bridge. And if you look at the video, there's a guy really close to Abby suddenly, but in the Snapchat photo, there's nobody behind her. He would have already been in that frame and visible. That will never make sense. I don't care what anybody says. That will never, ever. He did not sprint across that bridge that quickly and come out of nowhere. You don't see him anywhere at all in the Snapchat picture, unless he was behind them on the south side already, and they passed him, and then he turned around and came back toward them. That's the only way that would ever make sense. But according to the cops, that didn't happen like that.
Okay. Yeah. What's your email address? RICK 2045
at frontier.com.
Oh, Frontier Internet
Do
sucks.
you have any email addresses? I have a couple.
What about it?
Frontier Internet sucks. It's
Oh,
crappy internet,
okay.
but it's one of the few that goes out to rural areas.
Right.
So it may have been his only option.
It probably was at that time because my sister had dealt with that for years. They had a one option deal going on out there.
So that's why I asked.
Yeah, I've got, I don't use it very often. It's Foojaka, Foojaka 0 at gmail.com. And I had one at Yahoo at some point too, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay, great. On social media, do you do applications you use like Facebook? No, at all? Do you have a Facebook account?
Oh, my wife does, I don't.
Sounds so familiar.
And women, their Facebook.
Okay.
Kind of true.
And does she post often? Things like that?
She's, yeah,
On there all the time?
and she does.
Okay, all right. So what is your marital status?
Married.
Married, okay. And have you been married before?
No.
Okay. Number of children, we were talking about your kids, your daughter. What's your name again?
Rick. Oh, my daughter, Rick Jr. No, Brittany.
Okay. And how old is Brittany now, you said? You did math earlier.
28,
28, okay. She's born when, you said?
1994.
94, okay. And what's her last name now?
Zapanta. It's Zapanta.
Okay. And
That comment right there by Joe Schmoe is exactly what the man testified to on the witness stand. Humanly impossible, he said. So don't come at us, go with the law.
any grandkids?
No.
Oh, okay. And what's her husband's name? Is he from around here?
He's originally from the Philippines,
Oh, okay.
but lived in Canada, and he's been here, well, shortly before they got married, so around 16, maybe 15, 16,
Okay.
I don't know. They got married in 17.
What's his name?
Paulo, P-A-U-L-O.
Okay. P-A-U-L-L? Oh, I put another one.
P-A-U-L-O.
I got it. Okay. All right. So, but he lived here for a while. So I never assumed Zapanta's being around here.
No, not around here.
Not around here?
No.
Maybe somebody else?
She was already up in Napanee when she met him.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Graduated from high school. Where at?
North Miami.
What year?
91.
So North Miami, that is the county that that has Mexico and Peru in it. Miami County. So he's not saying Miami, Florida. He didn't go to high
Right.
school in Miami, Florida. He went right there just north of Delphi.
Right, there is a Miami there in Indiana, and then oh shit, you just said another name Mexico. That is also the town there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a 5-minute drive from Peru where Keegan and his dad lived.
So Keegan Klein, guys, was the account that was trolling Libby, Anthony Schott's account, and he's doing 45 years right now in prison for being the creepy guy in the basement talking to young girls on the internet. It's also where Rick Allen's mother lives, right, Joe? She's in Peru.
Yep. Yep. And Rick lived in Mexico.
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm.
And any other vocational training, college classes?
Went to Ivy Tech, like a couple semesters.
What'd you study there?
Accounting.
Okay. Any other vocational training or? Okay.
Well, I was in the military, but
Oh, okay. That's a question coming up here. Were you involved in any fraternal organizations, clubs, or athletics, or anything like that in school?
Fraternal
I
organization?
did some track here and there. I did football for like a year, but
Yeah.
What,
They're getting,
I don't-
yeah,
are there fraternal organizations in high school? Like,
yeah. Why are they asking about fraternal organizations already? Was my question. You're not one of us, are you?
nothing serious.
Okay. Any clubs or National Honor Society or something like that?
Oh, no.
Sorry. Military service, so what branch?
National Guard, Army National Guard.
And what was highest rank achieved?
E5 sergeant.
Okay. Mostly around here? Or
No, it was in, I was born right, well, not born, but I lived in Mexico most of my life.
Mexico, like in
Indiana.
Indiana, like in Miami.
Yeah,
Okay.
you always get that. Yeah, Mexico, Chile, Denver, yeah.
Okay, all
It was
right.
Mexico.
Yeah, okay.
But it was Peru was where I was in the National Guard at, sorry.
All right. Go to church anywhere?
No,
Have you ever?
on occasion, nothing.
Okay. Where'd you usually go to? Any place around
I
here?
don't
or-
even know. No, not around here.
Okay. All right. Parents go to church, or did they take you to church on your end?
No, my grandparents went to church, my parents didn't.
Oh, I see. Okay. Any criminal history? Have you been arrested for anything? Okay. Any medical
never
problems,
been
blood
arrested
pressure,
for
psychological
anything.
disorders?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. No social media. Nothing in his past to dig up. Except for
I could have swore I saw pictures on Facebook. Was that from his wife's account? Is that what I saw?
those are all from Kathy's account.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, those are all from Kathy's account. Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Okay.
I've had a heart attack. I've got a couple stents.
Okay.
And,
How long ago was your heart attack?
it's 2010.
Okay.
You were 40. 37.
37. Holy cow. Mm-hmm. And anything else?
Depression, anxiety, high blood pressure, cholesterol.
No, Butterfly, they had done moved on from their Odinist theory after the 5 years had passed.
Well, because it was the FBI's theory, and they
I was about to say,
kicked the FBI off.
They're like, no. We got none of that going on here, Mr. FBI man. Get out of here. FBI's like, okay, you got this. I wish they'd come back. Wish we could see Todd Click's report, the full report.
Yeah, I've FOIA'd that multiple times
Yeah.
for multiple agencies.
Yeah, hopefully it will come. Hopefully it will be out, eventually. Hopefully more will continue to come out. And hopefully it just won't go to one specific YouTuber before everybody else is getting it, including
Right.
me. Right.
Where's this interrogation video from? Who released this?
Okay. It first came out on Tom Webster's YouTube, and when he first put it out, he decided that he should edit it and do different things. He cut out a couple of things that Rick Allen said that weren't so nice, but oh well, whatever. He was getting irritated. But then the media got a hold of it, and Tom went back and re-released the unedited versions.
So how did he get it?
By that, I don't know. That's what we don't know.
What the?
He told me that True Crime Circus had them, and so I went over there and got them because I didn't want to use Tom's edited stuff, and so I originally got them from Crime Circus, and which then I was also told he got them from Tom Webster, which I don't know how or why, but whatever. And then right after that, the media got them and also put them out all unredacted. And we're watching an unredacted one now. I don't like that. If you're a YouTuber and you are issued a body cam, an interrogation, anything like this, why do you feel the need to be the moral police and start editing stuff? Because then you're not being honest with anybody. You decided you were the moral police at that point. That's the problem with edited videos coming into court. They are what they are in raw form. Period. I don't want to see shit that was enhanced unless you want to show me the original first and then show me what you did for an enhancement. That's just the way I roll.
So you said you've been there how many years?
Since, well, not the one here, but with CBS since 2013.
Okay. So you worked at CBS somewhere?
Yeah, I worked in trained in Marion, I worked in Peru, and then I came to Delphi. I'm thinking 16, 17, 16. I've been there a while now.
But you said you were living at your house out there since 2000. So you would drive back?
So he didn't move to Delphi until 2016 or 2017?
That's what it sounds like he said.
Yep, and these crimes were committed in 2017.
Right.
Huh.
2004, 2005, somewhere around.
I thought he'd been in Delphi longer than that for some reason.
Forth was CBS?
Yeah, I was leaving Walmart. Like I said, I spent 10 years with Walmart. I was actually a store manager at one point with Walmart. Chose to leave the company and do something different, and interviewed with CBS, and
I have questions about that.
The district manager that I interviewed.
What's up with that?
Because I watched a video one time of someone who claims to have been a Walmart employee under his management, but I wasn't under the impression that he was the quote unquote store manager. Like, is he pumping himself up to be more than he was? Because I don't
know that he was like the overall general manager, but I think he managed a department. Yeah.
That's what I thought. But he says, I think he says in this interview, and it's the only part of it I've seen, that he ran the whole store. I'm pretty sure he says that somewhere in here, and I think it's like a little exaggeration maybe on his part.
Maybe.
But Peru was the furthest Western store that he had, or closest to me. So that's where I was going to be working, and it just didn't work out the way that I thought it was long term. I mean, I was there several years, but I wanted to, they had a training position, a managerial training position. I told them I didn't want to do that anymore. Long story short, and put in the transfer back, and like I said, I'm 16, I'm going to say around 16, 17, somewhere.
All right. Well, management is kind of hard sometimes, I understand. Was there a particular reason why you didn't stay in management, or?
Tired of it, the bureaucracy, just not really being about taking care of the customer. It's more about hitting this number on this spreadsheet and that number on that spreadsheet, and then you get the call every 15 minutes if you didn't hit this number on this spreadsheet. And none of them really help you take better care of the customer. You spend your time managing scorecards, and I just had enough of it. Sure. I was just tired of it.
Sure, okay. Let's see, so from where we're at right now, I think probably, can you help us understand what was going on Monday, February the 13th? Can you kind of tell us what you were doing that day, and remember the day the girls were on the trail?
Okay.
Yeah.
I went over to my mom's in Peru, Mexico, earlier in the day. I think my mom had hip surgery back then or something, but regardless, my wife was working, so I went over there and spent the day, not the day, I spent the morning with them. My sisters come over and they were going to go eat lunch and stuff, and I wasn't about that, so I went home. And I remember it was a fairly warm day, or warmer than normal, so I think I just put a jacket on and went back out to the trails. Usually when we go, we walk down to High Bridge and walk back and walk down the other side and come back. I mean, it wasn't a ritual, but I remember walking down to the bridge. The times, it was...
So he would normally cross the whole bridge. Exactly.
I left my mom's, it was probably around 11:15. So I think I would have been out there, because I didn't do anything else. It would have been around noon, I thought, is when I was out there. Walked down to High Bridge. Always went out just a little ways, not all the way. Went out a little ways and watched the fish.
Okay.
Okay.
He said he always went out there and watched the fish. He didn't necessarily say he watched them that day. He said always.
He said he wouldn't go all the way across it, actually. He just said he would go out there a little ways, and he did his hands, like, the magic hands like old Doug Carter, but it was, he's like, but I wouldn't go out all the way. I just went out there and would go watch the fish. So he would go out far enough to that first platform, right? That's my take, which is what he said he did that day.
See if I see any fish down there, because I like fishing, and walk back and sit on the, when you turn around and go down the other fork, there's a bench that overlooks it. And sat there for a few minutes and walked down walked back out and left.
Okay. Anything else you remember? Where was you parked your car at?
Said there was...
So are they talking... Are they talking past tense or general tense?
Oh, you mean which one?
Where the bridge is at, I don't think it was there. So there's if you went over behind, there's a back road that went up, and there was a bridge, not the main bridge. There was a smaller bridge where you could park there, or you could park over on the other side. And I remember I didn't park over there where it's a farmer's entrance or something. I remember I didn't park there because I had told him something about, there were a couple vehicles there when I left, so I parked somewhere, either parked over on the bridge side, or there used to be a little building there. I could have parked there. There was a trail until they got the whole thing done.
Okay. When you're talking about the bridge, just so I'm clear, you're talking about that big blue bridge, the Freedom Bridge or whatever that goes over the highway?
Well, that's the big blue bridge, but before that was there was a, if you're going out of town, you would take the road that I think is where the park is. It veers off, it winds off this way, and there's a road, the first road you come, well, I don't know if it's the first road, but there's a road that takes off to the right, and there's houses, and then it just kind of turns into a lane, and there was a small bridge up there before. I mean, I think it's still there.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Okay, so you're talking about the one-lane bridge, kind of, that goes over the street?
It wasn't used. It wasn't a bridge that was used, I guess is what I'm saying. It was just, there was a parking area up there that you could park.
Yeah, that's where I parked.
Okay.
That's exactly
And that's where people that's where quite a few people would park before they, I mean, now there's a nice parking space, but before.
Sorry, Joe, I was in the kitchen getting a bagel.
I know exactly what he's talking about. That's exactly where I parked. I parked where he parked, and I walked across that bridge, and I went down to that lane that he's talking about, where he's talking about there's some houses and you can go up to that bridge.
Yep. They're all going to act like they don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Well, it's kind of an obscure area. I mean, it's
obscure to people who live in the area.
Possibly, I don't know.
Because I was wondering, as this is gonna get it, to me, this was interesting exchange.
Or it was either you parked there or you parked over in the farmer's thing, and, I mean, at one point they had it marked that they didn't want you parking there, so it, and I know it wasn't over there, because I told them something about some cars that were there, so I would have been parked up on the bridge side of things, I guess is what I'm saying. I guess I'm all happy.
So this is kind of an overview of the area. So obviously this is the Blue Bridge here over the Hoosier Heartland Highway.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, can you mark on where you think you parked at? Good.
Show me the Blue Bridge again.
Blue Bridge, here's the Hoosier Heartland Highway. Here's Main Street. The road that comes out from downtown goes out onto Heartland. And here's the Andersons. I think that's going to be their fertilizer plant. And down there's the
So that's the Blue Bridge. I mean, it's right there. It would have been
Oh,
over here
Asha,
somewhere,
that's
probably.
not the
Well, that's
CPS
one of the
building.
parking
I also
lots.
pulled into the CPS building parking lot when I took my little drive, and where he parked is not the CPS building.
No, it was like what was it before, the Farm
No,
Bureau?
maybe,
I think it was
but
the
it's
Farm
the
Bureau.
yeah, but that's not there anymore. But I know
Mm-mm.
where it was. I know where it was.
Yeah.
I pulled into that parking lot also when I took my little drive. But that's not where he parked, right? I mean, are they trying to pressure him into saying that he parked at the CPS building?
It felt like it to me because they continue to go over this, and he has to keep describing it to them. What how those little, and you'll see what they're fixing to do here. Let's see. Pokebomb says, were they just closed off to other theories, or are they secret odinous? Yeah, secret, maybe. They investigated the odinous theory. The police did. That's how Rick Allen's attorneys found out about the odinous angle. It was because the state legitimately investigated that theory, all on their own.
Oh no! If you ask Nick, we conducted the investigation. We
Well,
conducted the investigation. The defense didn't do any of their own investigating.
well,
Like he
that's
takes
what I'm saying.
he takes both of his hands in that interview with Hidden True Crime, and he
Right.
taps himself on both chests at the same time with both hands and said, "We conducted that investigation."
And yes,
That
sir,
guy
they
is a
did.
That guy is a drama queen.
They investigated Odinism, and they didn't like what they saw somewhere
But
along the line.
Nick didn't conduct that investigation.
No, of
into
course not. He's a
Odinism.
prosecutor. His the guys that work under him, all the cops work for the prosecutors, and the prosecutors cannot do a job until all the cops bring forward the evidence, right? So that I get all that. But no, the police investigation is where the Odinist angle came from. The Purdue University professor, his report, the Todd Click report, the 3 agents from the FBI task force that were all 3 investigating Odinus, then asked to leave the investigation. Interviews with the alternate suspects involved with Odinism days after the crime occurred were mysteriously recorded over. But look, here we have Rick Allen's.
Okay, and then
Or it would have been, there was a old building somewhere over,
this map was taken back when the building was still there, and this is the building that was on the bridge, the trail side of the bridge.
okay.
So down up
You
here.
went this way, I think you went down this way and
Mhm.
like
There's
went
a-
in an underpass or something?
Yep, that's right. And then there's a building right there that you can see it.
Okay, so it would either been there or there.
Okay, all right, very good. Which way do you think you would have traveled to get to this building that particular day, if you remember?
Just that way it loops around.
Okay.
I don't know the names of the roads or anything.
Hang on. Truth, are you talking about Gary, Dr. Gary? I don't listen to none of them body language experts. I don't even like watching body language experts. Because they don't know someone's baseline. You, even a decent doctor will tell you, you got to know someone's baseline before you can determine. I get there's the touching of the faces and all these things people want to claim are standard, you know, indicators of lying and all that dumb shit. I don't watch that old. Rick grabbing his ankle. I did not get that same take. Crazy.
Anything, I mean,
And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm a free thinker, and if I was to weigh and base all my thoughts on way body analysis person told me, I'd be in trouble.
I can show you where I drove, but it just, on the way, the road that goes out, it's basically the same way that you get to this one, except, no, it's further up, and you go down, and it like comes down and goes around somewhere and comes over on the other side.
Okay, very good, okay. Was it ever an occasion where you might have gone to the park another way? Did you go out here very often, I should ask?
Not, like, I wouldn't say often. I mean, we go out, we may go once a month, we may go twice in 1 week. I mean, it was just kind of one of those where when we felt like walking the trail, we'd go. I mean, I could say we visited it regularly. During the summer months, we didn't really go out there much in the winter. We may have gone out a time or two, but.
Right, okay. So was it ever...
Funny thing is, Pokemon, they didn't lose just one interview. They lost several. And that all-important tip that caught the guy.
something
Real good police work there, Delphi. Real fucking good.
was there ever a time that you guys took another path to get out there besides going around this way, or do you remember anything like that?
I think there's a way if you go past where you park the farmer's entrance that I was telling you
I
about.
think it's down here. There's an entrance across from a residence that's a farmhouse. Does that make any sense?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I know that there's a way that winds around, and you can eventually get back to 200 or whatever road it is. We're off of 200 North, I think it is. It comes out somewhere down there, but we only did that. I think we found that by accident one time. We thought we'd go that way and try to get back, and it was we eventually came out that way somewhere.
Okay.
But no, I wouldn't. If we were going to go there, we would go down through town and.
Okay. Good to know. All right. So let's talk more about what you remember doing that day, remember seeing that day.
Okay.
You gave an account to the officer who talked to you. And do you remember how that was prompted, how that happened, that you happened to talk to the officer?
I don't remember if it was the next day or a couple days, but shortly after they were asking for anybody that was there to come in. So I went down. I got home from work and my wife said, they want to talk, because I had obviously told her that I was there. And she said they want to talk to anybody that was down there, may have any information. I don't know how much, but I obviously will go down. So we went down to the sheriff's station.
Hold on.
I knew you were getting ready to chime in. You go for it.
So she told him they want to talk to anybody that was there that day, but then doesn't she later say, you didn't tell me you were going to the bridge?
No.
What did she say?
She did tell him, hey, they do want to talk to anybody who was out there. He said, okay. Now, they made a bigger deal about that in court than we just heard him say. They literally embellished that whole conversation right there in the court. But what Kathy does say, what she did say, and what I've known for a long time, she says to him, you didn't tell me you went out on to the bridge that day.
Okay.
And he begs to differ, but the way he handles that with Kathy doesn't show me that man was not mean to his wife. And I saw comments on Twitter, oh, he was gaslighting the hell out of his wife. I want people to tell me how. And if you're accusing your man of gaslighting you, that poor man must be ready to leave the fucking house all the time. Because I
Right.
don't understand the definition of gaslighting, apparently. That's what everybody gets on them little bandwagons. Oh, now I got the autism. Oh, now I got the ADHD. I got the COD. Oh, I got the... Stop it with your excuses. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and my other thought with this, with what he just said, is yes, I know that there are killers that will go to the police and said I was there near the scene of the crime, but that doesn't feel like that with me here. Like and I mean, why are you going to the police on your own 2 days later to talk to them? Is it because Kathy said you need to go talk to them? Like if he did it, why did he go talk to Dan Doolin?
Well,
Just questions I have.
well, it makes... Well, yeah, because you wonder... Like, of course, they probably already put... Maybe he didn't watch the news like Kathy, or maybe he did. I don't know. But I wondered myself, because I'm going to tell you guys something. Joe and I both agree. We don't know if Rick Allen's guilty or not. I'm not that hashtag Free Ricky person. I'm hashtag bring justice and truth and transparency. Let's put it that way. Did I just say that like in a whole sentence to remind me of somebody's channel? I did. But I mean it in a real way, because we need it. And because Delphi chose to do this entire process in the dark, literally, throw this man into a prison, into solitary confinement upon arrest. Could you imagine if Brian Koberger was sitting in a state fucking prison right now, looking all dirty and nasty and wearing dirty clothes and looking crazy whacked out coming into court? Ann Taylor would pass the fuck out. But Rick Allen was made to do that, to make him look like a vicious killer, you know? So I understand where defense attorneys are coming from when they don't want their client presented a certain way before he's convicted, because that shouldn't be a base. You know, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have allowed that man to come from prison. Shouldn't have went to prison to start with. Let's get real. Don't be giving me your crap. We couldn't keep him safe. Then build a little safe house for your highest convicts. I don't know what to tell you. You had Cass County offer to take the man, and you still said no. You didn't let him go there until it was time for trial. It's stupid. This man's anybody who's out there for the Constitution has to know this man's rights were violated every single step of the way. So tell me how due process was served at any point in time. They made me feel like a conspiracy theorist. I didn't seek out this shit. They here's what y'all get. Okay, well, we see you, Delphi.
I don't remember who it was, came out and talked to me and said that he would get my name and information, and then I was driving downtown for something, and I know that, remember, he called me when I was in the car because I pulled over.
Truth, honey, you are preaching to the choir. I know about some county jails and prisons, and I understand the differences, but Rick Allen wasn't treated to a federal prison with all the bells and whistles. No, ma'am. Do you know what they did to him in prison? Where they kept him? How he was kept? That's in documents from, court documents.
How he was medicated?
Unwillingly. Shot up with drugs. Followed around everywhere he went, including talking to his wife on the phone. They were videotaping him meeting with his attorneys, which is against the fucking law. Admitted it in court. Guards at the prison who were known Odinist, right there in the court documents for the world to see.
Admitted in an affidavit.
And signed.
Yes.
To remove them patches, boys. Okay, I'll just run out and get me a face tattoo instead.
And talked to him. It was a DNR officer, and he asked me if I could come down and talk there, or if I want to meet somewhere. And I don't remember how or why. I think they were really busy, obviously crowded probably. So I was heading down to, it was the Save-A-Lot parking lot down there, and I told him I would just meet him there if that was okay. So he came down, we talked. He looked at my phone, took my phone information, and I think he got some, we took the battery out and everything, and he got information off of us. So that's pretty much it. And I mean, I gave him the account. Forgive me, I mean, it's been years, and I thought about it a lot. As time goes on, it's, like I said, I think I was there probably.
Truth, honey, people on Twitter are saying he was not on medication. His wife clearly tells him in the phone call, honey, they're messing with your medications.
Around noon, it could have been a little before noon or a little after noon. Walked down, back an hour, so probably 1:30.
Truth, honey, the runes talk came from the prosecution, honey. That they didn't make that up on the defense. Trust me, I've got all the documents. We've read them and read them and read them and read them and read them some more.
Those started with the Purdue professor.
Yes,
right?
it certainly did. The Purdue professor told law enforcement those resembled runes, okay? The people that were investigated that have mysteriously lost all their evidence against were practicing Odinist. I know he was on Prozac in normal life, Truth, but do you have a list of the medications they were offering him in prison?
He was involuntarily injected with Halidol.
Involuntarily injected.
It's a fact.
1:45, depending
Facts.
on exactly what time it was that I got there that day. I just remember walking down the trail, and I had told him that when I was approaching the trailhead, I guess is what I'd call it, there was 3 girls walking off the trail, and I just remember it looking like one of them was probably watching, not babysitting, but watching the other 2 because they looked a little younger. And they looked very similar. I don't know if they were sisters or whatever, but the other one didn't necessarily. But I remember seeing them walking off the trailhead, and I didn't really see anybody. I walked down, like I said, I looked at the water, I walked back, and I said, I mean, somebody could have walked behind me, I guess, but I sat on that bench that overlooks the creek bed and all that. And I remember telling him when I left, I remember there being, I think there was 2 vehicles down there on that farmer's entrance that I told you about. And that's why I know I didn't park there, because obviously I wouldn't recall seeing cars there if I parked there.
The farmer's interest, are we still talking about this area here, or is there some other location here?
There's a pull-in, like right next to the trail is all I can tell you. There's a pull-in right next to the trail, and a trail actually leads up to the trail.
Yeah, it's hard to see from here, but I think this is what's called the old Mears.
Probably. There was a farmhouse across from it is all I knew.
Right.
And it was like I mean, I guess it looked like where you take farm equipment in and out or something, but I know at one point they flagged it that it said no parking, so we didn't park there for a period of time, but.
Did you ever park there before when you went?
Yeah.
A lot of times you did, okay.
So he's talking about the Mears Farm entrance and Hoosier Harvest Store. He parked down right past them.
I mean, we used to when it wasn't marked. We did a cleanup down there one time I brought a bunch of Walmart people, kind of a community.
Joe, I think in this next segment right here, he is actually going to say the phrase down the hill, talking about this cleanup they were on.
The engagement thing. We did a cleanup down there. It's the year that they tore down. We tore down that, if you go down, not the High Bridge way, but that one where I sit on the bench.
Yeah.
That I was telling you about. If you go down that hill, there used to be a little shed, a little shack down there, and they tore that, and we were there that day that we tore that down.
Okay. Yeah. Now, you guys did that with Walmart. Was that a local Walmart you worked at?
Lafayette.
Lafayette,
Yeah.
okay. One on Commerce or the one on
Commerce.
Okay. So you guys came up and did that. Do you know when that was?
Oh, Lord, no. Well,
Was it before or after this?
2006, oh, it would have been,
Way before.
I wasn't even with, it was what, 17?
Yep. When the girls were out there.
13, 17. I wasn't even with Walmart at the time. I would have already been with CVS, yeah.
Okay. So sometime in the...
Yeah, it would have been way before. I mean, I went to CVS in, what did I say, 13, so it would have had to been before 13.
Okay. So you were out there then working on the trails?
I'm going to say a lot earlier than that because I worked in Chicago, south of Chicago, for a couple of my last years with Walmart when I was actually running that store. So probably around 9, 10 maybe.
Okay. All right, somewhere around there. So you were working out there in trails. Have you been familiar with the trails before then? Was there a time that you had been out trails before that?
We had walked, after we moved to Delphi, I mean,
What happened?
Oh, sorry. I was just posting his comment up there because I haven't listened to all these full interviews all the way or all the phone calls, but I've listened to him talk, and I'm listening to that twang. He's got like a country twang to his voice. And with that little tiny snippet of guys down the hill, it doesn't sound like Rick Allen or Ron Logan to me. Honestly, I'm trying to get there, but I haven't yet. You know what I mean? Do you hear any similarities at all?
I
yet,
need to.
Joe?
I was just thinking I need to go back and listen to that again.
Mhm.
I could have sworn that it was kind of like a guys down the heel, like the
Yeah.
like, and that to me is Southern Indiana, Kentucky.
Right.
That when you take hill and say heel, that's not somebody who's lived in Mexico, North Central Indiana most of his life. That's not a regional way to pronounce the word hill. That was I think I heard that, but I need to go back and listen again.
Right. Yeah, you got to do further analysis for sure because I've had to listen to it. The Holman video, I've listened to a couple of segments at a few different times. I got mad and had to turn it off. Plus, I was so busy with Coburger and what's her name, Lori. But yeah.
I mean, we started experimenting. I mean, there were trails that we didn't know were there, but, you hear about one and you'd go, and I'm sure by that point, well, obviously I know by that point I knew about them because that's how I don't know how I got associated with the Dan something or other that runs the Erie, I think it was Dan, run like the Erie Canal thing, and McCain.
Yeah, okay.
Joe, was McCain the guy on the bridge that day taking the pictures?
I don't remember. I don't remember what his name was.
It was Dave or Dan McCain. I want to say that was the guy on the because he worked with the Erie Canal, I thought. But I may have to go back. I got to go back and review some of that.
Yeah, and I know there was a photographer out there taking like family pictures that day because remember I told you the last time I got my hair cut in West Lafayette, the guy that was cutting my hair said that they were supposed to be out there at 2:00 that day having family pictures taken, and they had to cancel for some reason, like she got called into work or he got called into work, and she just feels so bad because they would have been out there around the bridge that day.
Well, the guy that testified though, that saw people out there that day, he went out to the first platform. He had the camera all around his neck. That guy, I think that's who he's actually. That's the guy. I'm not sure, but when he said the name and he said the guy was with the Erie Canal, I thought, wait a minute, is that the same guy that was on the bridge taking pictures that day? I have to go back and review, like I said.
I don't remember how I became acquainted with him, but I asked him because at Walmart, as a leader, they always want you to be involved in the community, and I mean it's a good thing, but you can also give money to because we brought so many people out for that event for a day, we had so many hours, and we were able to donate money because of that from Walmart to the Erie Canal Foundation or whatever. So we worked, I guess.
That's funny.
the question is, yeah, I had been on the trails before that day.
Mm-hmm.
And we also worked out at the Carrollton Bridge that day. There's a tow path or something. We cleaned up some stuff along there too.
Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense. All right, well, that's good.
So, yeah, I sat there for a few minutes and left, and like I said, there were a couple vehicles. I may have told him the exact makes, I'm not sure. I just remember one was like a sedan, and I think maybe one was an SUV, I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I have to look back at what I said that when I interviewed with him.
And that was at the, you call it farmer's entrance, those cars were at the farmer's entrance? Is that
Yes,
what you're
sir.
saying? Okay. What about where you parked? Were there any other vehicles?
I know there were no vehicles where I parked because I don't remember telling him. I mean, if he asked, I didn't see anything there that day.
Okay. Okay.
A lot of people would park at that farmer's entrance because I'm thinking that was probably when they didn't really want you parking there, and that's probably why I didn't park there, but it's much closer to the trails. So a lot of people like to park there. You walk in and you're actually like halfway through the trail, so you can walk one way and the other and leave. But I know at one point, like I said, they didn't want you parking there, so we didn't.
So back then, if you told, he said his report said old Farm Bureau building, so would that be?
I never really knew what that building was. I just remember telling him there was a building there. And if that's where I told him I parked, then that's probably where I parked. Because we, like I said, we would either park, obviously the farmer's entrance was always the most convenient, but there was a bridge, a small bridge before the Blue Bridge. I probably, I don't even know if I got this right. This is Anderson's?
Yes.
So there was a little tiny, it used to be like a one-way bridge. It wasn't even a road anymore. Like, you could either go towards the Blue Bridge
Or
or
you drive under it too?
Yeah, I think you ride,
Now I follow.
it wasn't, that parking lot wasn't there on the other side, so you didn't, but, yeah, you would, you went, like I said, you take this road that forks off, coming out of Delphi somewhere,
Yeah.
and then you take a right, and it's just a little road, and there's some people that live along it, but then at the end of the road, it goes up to this, like I said, there's like a parking area where people used to park.
I think I know what you're talking
Yeah, I
about.
think you can't see it on here, but what you're describing
Probably.
is a road that leads up to this parking area that you're talking, it's out of the side of that side of the.
Sure, it's probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, how far out to the bridge did you go?
So they're leading him into saying he was parking out of the sight line. Did you catch that? So you were out of the sight line. He was like, yeah, maybe, or whatever. Now they're going to get to ask him about where he went on the bridge that day.
Go that day when you were out there? Do you remember?
How far what?
How far out onto the high bridge?
I have no idea how many feet it is. The way I always know is there's one of those platform things that stick off the side,
Mhm.
and I usually, years past, like 9, 10, let's see, 6, 7, between 6 and 10 probably. I've actually been across the high bridge back when it was in a little bit better shape, but somewhere in there, 8, 9, 10, somewhere it started getting pretty rugged and stopped going across it. But for the most part, I didn't go past that one whatever the thing is that sticks out. I'd go out there and kind of look. Like I said, fisherman, I'd look and see if I see any fish or anything, and then I went back the other way.
Yeah, I think those were for back in the day, if a train was coming and you were out there, that
Yeah.
you could possibly at least get out of the train's way.
Exactly.
I don't think I would still want to be on it when a train came.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. So yeah, that day, I don't remember what year it was, but it was well before 16, 17. I don't know, just decay.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
So if you were parked there, and correct me if I say anything.
The bridge?
Over here, in that building, I'm sorry. So if you're parked there, how did you get on the trail? Where did you walk?
At one point, you either walk down the road, but then at one point they had a trail there. Not a trail, I wouldn't even call it a trail. They had a gravel gravel path that led to the new thing that they were doing, I call it the trailhead. When they started doing all that, there was a trail that would, I think it ran along the road, if I remember right, and then it just cut over to where the trailhead was at. You couldn't really park. I just remember where that path was at. You'd think you could park there, but it was no parking. So you had to walk. You either parked over here and just, it was actually closer if you went over here and you could just walk to the bridge that way. And then if you went this way, it was a little bit further because you walked along the road.
So you would normally walk along the road, or was there a path that went?
At one point, I think you walked along the road. Honestly, I don't even remember. Where's the trails here? That's why I said at some point, it was probably after they put that little pathway in that we even parked there. I don't think we ever even used that until they put that path there, and it was just because it was the only way to get to trailhead from that side. And like I said, at one point, they didn't want you parking down here at this farmer thing, so they had put in a gravel path in, and you would park there. So you either parked over there or you parked there and walked down the gravel path. And the path cut over to like where the trailhead thing is. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't know that we ever parked at that little building, whatever it was, until they laid that gravel path to it. And I think we thought that was a new, I guess, designated parking area, and that's when we parked there once in a while. We'd still park over here once in a while. It just depended on which. And like I said, there was times when we'd park there on and off whenever they didn't have it posted. They didn't want you parking there. And we probably did a time or two when they did have it posted, but we didn't make a habit of it.
So that car that was in your garage, would that have been what you drove out there that day?
Oh my God. Let me think here. It would have either been that one or our great Ford 500. We kind of switch vehicles back and forth. It's kind of because I've oftentimes worked further away from home, and when I was working in Peru, the car's what do I say? It's a 16. So prior to that, I'd had a little red Ford Focus, and our trucks we get our truck at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So on truck day, I'd be driving over to Peru at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And one day I was driving, and I was tired. I mean, there's often times you'd be tired, but this day I was just so tired, like to the point I almost and should have just pulled over. But I made it over there, and I turned off. Didn't take the highway all the way up. I took the turn off that takes you into the back way to Peru, and made it all the way in town, and literally I fell asleep. And I woke up when my airbag went off. I veered off the road.
Why is he telling this story?
SUV parked on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Why is he telling this story? It's like it's useless information to what they're talking about, or is it relevant to what they asked him?
I think he's just a talkative guy, and he's just explaining it to them.
Yeah. In police interviews, sometimes if you add too much extemporaneous information or extra information.
Yeah, but at this point, he thinks he's just providing information on what he saw that day. He's not even
right. He doesn't think he's in an interrogation. Right. I get it.
Yeah. At this point, he don't, and he's just sitting there having a conversation because it's going to shift. Eventually, it does shift.
And literally, that's when I woke up. Like I didn't even know. It took me several seconds, if not a minute, to get my bearings and even figure out what had happened. I still didn't know because when it hit the SUV, it threw it clear up over the sidewalk into somebody's front porch. Like I literally didn't brake at all. I was asleep, so I hit at full speed. So anyway, I get out and there's not even anything there. I'm like, what did I hit? And there was a person stopped on the other side of the road. Anyway, long story short, they called the police, blah, 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 and I had to get, that's when I bought that black car.
Mm-hmm. The black car being the 16?
The one in the garage.
Okay.
And so I got that car because I have to drive back and forth and want something that gets good gas mileage. So my point is I was driving the black car, and then when I transferred and came back to Delphi, I didn't need the gas mileage anymore, and it was a nicer car, so I gave it to my wife. And from that time until just earlier this year, I drove the gray car and she drove the black car. Now, if I was going somewhere out of town, a lot of times I would use the black car, depending on how far we're going. The gray car was dependable, but it's just one of those where the longer, I guess, more recently, I started driving, if I was going to go to Lafayette or something for an appointment or whatever, I'd take the black car just because it's more dependable. And
Yeah, she works at her.
but anyway,
Yeah.
and then from during that time period, I drove the gray Ford 500, and she would drive the black car, had her little cat license plate and all that on it. And then when I got her a van, the gray car pretty much had it, and it was either, I had that and a truck as well. I had a truck for, I don't know, 3-4 years. I bought it used, and we didn't drive it hardly ever, and it was one of those where get rid of them while they're still worth something, so we traded them both in, and I got the van that she drives now, and then I went back to driving black car, so everybody's black car.
If I remember right, you said you were gone to Miami County to see your mom. Mexico. Would you have planned to drive the black car because that was a trip out of town?
I wouldn't have planned, no. During that time, it was still,
Okay.
the gray car was still, it's not like it was a junk car, we bought it brand new. It was a 2006, but I'd just say in the last, 3-4 years, it's not, the car didn't run well, it's just one of those where it's old enough that, you don't want to get over somewhere, especially because usually if I am driving it, it's because she's at work and I don't want to end up having to get stranded somewhere, but that was more recently, so. That's why I don't know which, it was either the gray or the black one that day. It could have been, it could have been the black one, could have been the gray one.
Makes sense. Okay.
It was an 06 Ford 500.
So then, you get on the trails and you said you saw 3 girls. Where was it you saw the 3 girls?
They were up around the trail. I mean, I didn't like to interact with them. It was up around the trailhead somewhere.
So but you hope
Like when I say they were leaving, yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming they were leaving, or they came from down where those cars parked and they were going to go back that way. I don't know.
Okay. And then, did you see anybody else when you were out there? Anybody that stand there?
Nobody that stood out, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, if I did see somebody, it didn't click with me. And of course, my memory was a lot better when I talked to him that day. I don't remember seeing, like I told him, there may have been somebody on the bridge or something when I was coming back through, but I didn't. The only ones that I really noticed seeing were the 3 girls.
Okay.
Because I was walking towards them, and I mean, they obviously stood out. And like I said, I remember it looked like an older girl with 2 younger girls.
Okay.
Just walking the trail.
Okay.
And I guess I assumed that she was probably watching them or in charge of them or whatever. It was
And
kind of what I felt like.
Okay. If you thought you saw somebody when you were coming back through from the bridge, where they were on the bridge?
I don't really remember seeing anybody that day, but I don't know. So if I did see somebody,
I don't really
else,
remember
jump out
seeing
to me or
anybody that
anything
day?
else. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not true, right? Didn't he remember seeing like 3 girls and there were really 4
He was
or
just
something?
talking about all that. That he just told them all he did. He saw the 3 girls.
Right.
It was really 4, but he saw 3. He noticed the 3 of them.
Right. So then why is he now saying I didn't really see anybody that day?
He didn't really see anybody other than those 3 girls.
Oh, okay. Okay. Other than that, I didn't. Okay. I
Yeah.
missed that. Okay.
Like I said, it could have been people down around the cars, but I don't remember. I just remember seeing a couple cars parked over there. Like I said, Dan and SUV or something like that.
Okay. And then when you got back to your car, was there any other cars when you got back to your car?
I don't think so. Well, no, because I would have thought through that now.
Okay.
It would have just been mine.
Do you know where you went afterwards when you left there?
Well, that day. I always watched the stock market and
That
trading stocks a little
was
bit.
something else that they remember the officer recorded, something about the stock market. Tell us about that.
I just had a individual trading account with Daytech originally, and I think it was TD Ameritrade. I trade stocks, try to get rich, lose money.
Did that work for you?
On and off it did actually, but no, it worked really terribly there for a while, and I don't even do it anymore. So
Okay.
it's just too much of a risk.
So did you have a phone or a watch or something you were looking at the stock market on, or?
I think so. I had a program on my phone to watch stocks. I don't remember
So
exactly
you've been
when and how long I had it, but yeah, I had a program that I could, depending on the reception you had, of course. If you didn't have any reception, that wouldn't work. And
Was it fairly good out there that day?
and that's honestly, I think that's why I went home as quick as I did, because I wanted to get home and watch it on my computer with my stock tickers and all that stuff. So, because I remember what I remember doing that. That was like a hobby, I guess, for me, was watching the stock market and looking at charts and trying to predict what something's going to do and make money off of it.
Yeah, that's way out of my league.
Well, it was mine too. I just didn't realize it at the time.
What were you wearing that day? I mean, you said you put on a jacket. You put on a jacket and
Blue jeans, and I'm sure I put on a jacket because I think it was still fairly cool that day. I don't think it was super warm. I would have put on a jacket. I don't know.
Remember what kind of jacket
Probably
you had back
jeans.
then? I mean,
I've had Carhartt jackets over the years.
colors of your jacket.
The one was blue, the one was black. Probably back then it would have been a black one. It had a hood built into it. So it was just a black zip up. I don't even think it was a Carhartt. I think it was an off-brand, but it was like a Carhartt. I could have worn that. I've had sweatshirts like what I threw on today. Hoodies, jackets. I mean, I've got a little bit of everything. Fleece.
Anything else you maybe headgear or anything like that? Wasn't that warm that day, but wasn't that cold either.
Always kept a hat in my coat, so it would have been like a, I don't know what do you call them, skull cap, or just not a big fluffy hat, but a small hat.
So,
that drives me nuts in interrogations or interviews.
Cap on your head.
When cops' phones go off, in the middle of that, it can totally change the vibe. It can totally break momentum or whatever it is that they're trying to do. And if you notice, the other guy's like, okay, so just turn off your phones, guys.
Just put it on vibrate. Y'all know that you know damn well that there's another cop sitting out there texting him, hey, ask this. Hey, ask that. I know that's what they're doing. They ain't fooling me.
Yeah. And anything else you've been wearing besides like what kind of shoes? I mean, not pretty strange to ask a question like that. But what was, at the time I probably tell you what kind of tennis shoes I had because I usually make them last a very long time.
Well, and I've got shoes that I've had for 10, 12 years probably. It would have been older tennis shoes, or I had military boots that I used to wear, but they just don't fit. I've been out of the military forever, so I had some combat boots in my closet that I used to wear occasionally. I don't know if I was still wearing them then or not. I mean, I haven't worn them in years, but could have had a pair of work boots. I don't know. So probably older tennis shoes, but if it was wet out, sometimes I'd wear a boot, like a work boot, or but like I said, the combat boots, because they held water out pretty well.
Okay, great.
And I may have told him that day what I was wearing, I don't remember.
Do you know what kind of phone you had back then? And you still have that phone, do you?
If I do, it's in a closet somewhere. I'm sure to recycle it right now.
Oh, really?
Because I've had this for... My other one died. Bill, tell me. Trying to go where I just went to look at. I don't know, it's been a few years now, several years, not.
5 years, Jeff. Their investigation was so amazing and all that. For 5 years, they let a community live in fear and turn upon each other.
It wasn't, I know that since that time, I know I've gotten this phone. I don't remember when. It's not been a super long time, but it wasn't, I've had it long enough that I don't remember when I got it.
Do you have that picture of that car or no?
I think I did. Picture of the car on the road. Here we have them. Likely. Either way. So, a couple things I wanted to ask you after I checked my phone. It's just like ringing like crazy. What we would like to do is to be able to confirm some of the information that you've given us so far, to be able to examine your phone. As you're well aware, phones go everywhere with everybody, and they tell a story about a lot of what people do. And sometimes the information on a phone can confirm, or maybe not necessarily confirm information about what somebody is saying. We have the ability to be able to extract the data from a phone and be able to look at it and be able to tell where somebody was at.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. Would that be something you would allow us to take care of, do today and get it done?
How long are you going to have my phone?
Well, we ideally would like to have a phone that you had. When you got that phone, did you take the data from the old phone and move it to the new phone?
I have no idea. I mean, I know. I always try to save contacts.
Right. So if you had the phone, like where'd you?
So
get
there's
the
a
phone
there's a
at?
good question.
What
There's
service
good
is it?
I go through Team.
question.
Yeah.
So, we know when we get a new phone that we hand it off to those people and they do the little transfer thing and they transfer data from your old phone to your new phone, which is mostly like contacts and stuff. Surely your geolocation data doesn't transfer too, does it? I wonder.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
I mean, I had the phone company transfer my stuff last time, but my son will usually do his himself. But then you got, it just transfers stuff like that. But then you got, if you want your old Google account back on there, you have to add all that back in, right?
Right. Yeah, we saw a lot yesterday in Lori Vallow Daybell's about extractions. Well, we saw a little bit about extractions, but yeah, that
we
question.
saw a lot about it over there in their Idaho cases, both of them. Nick Valance, you go, Nick Valance. You're not a conspiracy theorist, are you? You had to have watched the Koberger hearing. Judge got spicy. Lord, that judge like, I am fed up with all of y'all.
Really?
And his Syray. He kind of let Syray have it a little bit on the judge did. Pretty much called him a conspiracy theory. And it was, because if you paid attention, Syray only knew that the FBI could obtain those records prior to May of 2023 because they accidentally gave him a sneak peek. He said that himself, and thank God the judge called it out on the stand from where he sits, from the bench, because I was like, thank you, Judge. Finally, somebody's on to what I was on to. And he called it a conspiracy theory.
Wow.
It's an online service, and it's a lot of people don't know about it. It's really inexpensive, and I've had it for years now.
What's it called?
Huh?
What was it called?
Team.
Ting, like T-I-N-G?
T-I-N-G.
Never heard of it.
It's online.
So you didn't really go to a store somewhere?
I used to,
Okay.
but I for years now we've been with Ting.
Uh-huh.
You pay full price for your phone, and they have discounted ones, and so usually you'll pay a couple $100 for a phone, or you can pay $600-700, whichever. But
So they own
as
the
far
phone.
as the service,
Right.
I mean, I only pay around $40 a month for 2 phones, and
Wow.
that's
And is
pretty much everything.
your service provider, is that Ting themselves, or is it another?
They, like, I think right now it's probably Verizon. It's one of those deals they use. Of course, all of them do that anymore. They use each other's
The big
towers.
corporate towers and, yeah.
But I think it's like my phone. Some of it depends on what type of phone you have too. Mine is based off of. I'm pretty sure it's off of Verizon right now.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Do you remember what you had back then? 2017?
I know I didn't have this one yet. I don't even know if they were making those yet.
I mean, as far as service provider.
Well, I've had Ting. God, I've had Ting for several years now.
So they may
I probably would have had Ting.
Okay, they may have changed service providers on you. Ting may have used a different service provider.
I don't like, since I've had this phone, I've never had them come out and say, hey, we're changing your provider. It's just I guess kind of the home system that it works off of. Like I said, it's Verizon. I'm trying to think if it's ever been, you don't even hear about AT&T anymore, but it could have been that at one point.
When's he going to catch on to what's going on here?
Yeah, as soon as they asked him for his phone, do you mind if we take a look at your phone? Boom, ooh.
Oh, why is
Bye-bye.
that? I told you I was there. You
Right.
need it to prove that I was there because I'm telling you I was there. Y'all, lawyer up.
Okay.
I never had it before we lived in Delphi though, so I know, I'm pretty sure because I always got my phone, I work at Walmart, so I get my service plans through them because I got discounts through them. So I know it's been, since I left Walmart,
Prepaid phones.
so,
Okay.
I mean, so I went through regular carriers prior to that. I've been with Ting forever.
Well, so then what I would like to do, if it's okay with you, would be to have an opportunity to look at the phone and examine some of the data on it. Really would like to get to the phone that you had back then. If you think it's in a closet somewhere in the house, yeah.
Actually, I don't have, I mean, when my wife comes home, she'll know, if we have it, she'll know exactly where it's at.
Okay, all right. So if it's okay
I
with
thought she
you,
recycled them, but she may not.
we could start with this phone, and be able to extract the data from that, if that's okay with you. And I have a form that I read to folks before we get started on doing something like that, and it goes basically like this: you have the right to require that a search warrant be obtained before you search your property. You have the right to refuse consent to a warrantless search. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before giving consent to such a search.
Truth, that may be true, but racists are racist groups. But when you mix one with Odinist, what do you get?
If you can't afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you. I've read the statement rights, I understand what rights are. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I consent to warrantless search by the officers of the police department fully described property, and it'd be your cell phone and whoever carrier, and authorize these officers to seize any item of data which they consider as evidence. I understand and know what I am doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me. And I would need to have the passcode. Is your phone open, or is it just a passcode, or is it a pattern, face, or what?
There's a finger thing.
And let me just add this one final thought. These particular guys that were investigated early in this investigation, one of them, if you know what the Southern Poverty Law Center is, go check them out, because one of them has been flagged on there for years and years and years. Actually, a handful of them. have been, not only for their racism, mainly for that, but among other things, they're Vinlander gangs. And
Right. Well, there. Okay. Truth. Truth. So there's a rumor. There's a rumor. So Abby's mom was a bartender in town, and there's a rumor that she was dating a man of a different race.
Yep.
And that perhaps she was being punished for that through this.
And her daughter dated an Odinist racist son. Her son, Abby, was dating someone whose father was absolutely a racist Odinist.
And then there's a code
buddies.
override. I guess my,
Go ahead. Any questions? Yeah, we'll try to answer.
just, I don't know, it sounded more like you're, like I'm not gonna be somebody's fall guy.
Here's our
I thought we were talking,
I want to help you
I thought you
understand.
were trying to find,
So
what I
everybody
might have that'd be helpful, but.
That's
absolutely what we're doing.
Everyone we talk to, we're trying to eliminate them from any suspicion of being involved in this case.
Sure.
So
I get that.
What we want to try to do is get as much information together to be able to show, okay, we've looked and didn't find anything. So, you understand what I'm saying?
Sure, I get that. I just, like I said, honestly, it amazes me that we're even talking. I mean, it's been so long, and I haven't thought about this much, and it's just like, I don't want to be somebody's fall guy, and we're going to try to make pieces of a puzzle fit somewhere they don't fit so we can close this thing. I get, and I'm not saying you guys, please don't think I'm questioning your integrity. That's not what I'm saying. I just, okay. I mean, I guess that's where I'm at. It doesn't seem like a simple conversation we're having. It seems more like you think I might have done it, so.
I
Yeah,
understand what
you
you're
think?
saying. I completely get what you're.
Don't laugh it off.
what you're
Don't laugh it
saying
off.
and
Go with
how I
that feeling.
understand from your point of view, okay?
So what you got, Rick?
But from our situation, what we're trying to do is be able to show what all you were doing that day. Take a look at everything, make sure that we can show that what you're saying is true, okay? So that we can be able to say to someone else, whoever's
Nick?
prosecuting this case, look, we looked
So we
at
can
this
go tell
Allen,
Nick.
he's not our guy. And we looked at it because
Oh my God, dude. I'm like, I told you I went to my mom's. I told you I went to the bridge. I went home, got my jacket, went to the bridge 5 years ago. And now here you are today, 5 years later, wanting my phone so you can prove that I was in Peru visiting mom. Went home and got my jacket and went right where I told you I went. I thought y'all were investigators. Huh.
we looked at his phone. And I was going to ask you something else too, be able to look at your car, and also, with your permission, we'd like to look at your house. And so all these things are very, very important to us to be able to.
No, I get that. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna, I mean, if you get to a point where you think that I need further investigating and you want to get a warrant, do it, that's fine, but I'm not gonna have somebody going through my house and everything.
Sure. I just want to be honest with you.
I just don't, I guess I'm starting to feel more like your main lead or something here, and I'm not gonna do that.
Well, we
I'm
can
not
start,
gonna-
did you understand that because we are so far into this, that I'm sure you see the news, you see state police doing their thing, well,
It's been a great while.
We had to bring in them state police doing their thing.
Mm.
Joe.
Now Liggett's going to step in there and he's going to start putting the pressure on.
And you know what the messed up part is? I think that most of this entire interview is all Mullins. Yeah, but you gonna have your Liggett comments here and there.
Oh, yeah.
we at Carroll County Sheriff's Department, and he's an investigator with prosecutor's office,
Sure.
we decided to pick through the very beginning of this again.
And I
And
understand
we're at,
that, I guess.
we're
yeah.
talking to everybody that was out there that day and trying to, and cross the
Like Betsy Blair and Sarah Carball.
Are you taking their phones too? Are you checking their phones too? Are you asking them for their
What about
phones?
cameraman? Did you get his phone that day too?
Mm-hmm.
A few others I can think of. But Sarah Carball said she saw a muddy and bloody man walking who would have had to walk right past that store that captured that screenshot of his car. But no guy walking past there muddy and bloody. Betsy Blair described a totally different person. Sketch number 2, young bridge guy.
T's, dotting I's. It's nothing more than that.
And I get that part of it.
So there's no fall guy, that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Truth. Why would you keep a handgun that you used in the commission of a crime to kill 2 little girls? Why would you do that, right?
And like I said, I'm not trying to question anybody's integrity. I just, like, I guess like I said, at the point that you think I might have actually done this, then if you want to get a warrant, search my house, my car, my orifices or whatever, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind you looking at my phone or whatever, but, like, yeah. I don't think, I guess my point is I don't think
We're just asking.
Sure, right, just asking.
I understand
We're
that.
just asking. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not just asking.
You
But that
surpassed just asking a long time ago, right, Joe?
yeah, yeah. But if you want to get a warrant to search my orifices,
You need a damn warrant to search my orifices, motherfucker. I bet he's regretting now not jumping up and demanding that.
yeah.
Like, just no, I'm going home now because the clock is ticking, tick tock.
It is what it is, and we are asked, so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have police out going through my house and stuff. That's just not.
That's fine. That's fine.
News leaks and somebody here. I just don't need that kind
Well,
of.
we're trying to keep this very discreet because we do understand what you're talking about. It came out in my Buick, which is not normal, like
I
a police
understand.
car. So
They're threatening. They're
anyways,
threatening to not be discreet if he doesn't cooperate.
Basically. And anybody, you know, so put yourself in a situation where the cops are now knocking on your door wanting to talk to you, right? And then you realize at some point and you're like being looked at in some kind of side eye way. You don't want that shit all over town, especially if you're an innocent person. Now get there, oh well, you're guilty, you're gonna be embarrassed, whatever. Okay, but if you're innocent, do you want that shit out there? So that's why you got to be careful in cases when you're coming right out of the gate, you know, one way or the other, and digging in and start talking shit about people because you don't know. There's so much we don't know in the beginnings, right? You know, that's why I don't know that Koberger did anything, but I'm leaning. I don't know that Rick Allen did or didn't, but I'm leaning, and I lean the way I lean because of what I see in court documents, not based on some YouTube rumors or a cool video I watched last week. If I see a cool video, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go look for receipts and investigate it and see if it's accurate. So if I do a video, I try to throw in the receipts to show where I got it from, why I got my conclusions, things like that. I don't play on these YouTube streets. I've seen too many people put out fake shit that's made up, right? And I don't like to go review something in like those body language people and all them psychologist people. I don't need them to help me understand what I'm seeing. I might go look at them later to see if my comparison and theirs are similar, but that's going to be all it's for. Because I'm an independent thinker and I want y'all to be as well. But that's why we're presenting this in the form it's in. Like I said, I could never get to a spot where I could say without a doubt in my mind, Rick Allen was the guy. I just can't get there. And it's not because I don't want justice for Abby and Libby, because I want that above and beyond everything else.
and like that, we're trying to get these things figured out.
Sure.
And get it taken care of. So
Sure.
with that, so you said you would let us look at the phone?
Sure.
Okay, great. And you help us get to the other phone too?
I'll see if I
Wait,
can
how did
find
he?
it.
How did he
Alright.
just go? You
So,
need a warrant to sure. How did
Yeah.
how did he just go get?
Well, he's trying to be compliant at the same time, you know. It's hard to explain. It's like that's when we get into that heavy analysis stuff on him. And I don't know, I think he's confused basically. You know, yeah, I need you to have a warrant to do all this, but they're also trying to gaslight him and thinking, well, we can do that, but if you just let us, you know, no, you just need the warrant, quit trying to talk me out of, quit getting me to try to agree to something I don't need to agree to. And that's my take on what they were doing with him. And he's going to wise the fuck up real quick.
Go back to that form, and we'll get this phone back to our team, which can do that. So I covered this with you. What kind of phone is it? Can you tell?
It's a Google something or other. It's a Google. Pixel.
Pixel, okay. It's a black phone, okay. And what is the passcode?
2045.
45, okay. All right, great. So I read this to you, so if you have any questions, do you have any questions about your rights about being able to do this? Or we just need your signature to verify that you understood everything?
You know what? Let me talk to my wife before I do anything.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't want to do this because I'm cool with it, but at the same time, I don't want her to get pissed off because I don't know.
Because you're
Okay.
making
We
a
watch
stupid
we
decision.
watch TV shows and stuff.
What?
Because you're making a stupid decision.
Yeah, listen to what
She's
he's,
gonna get pissed off because she's
what?
gonna make a stupid decision.
Yeah, listen to what he's about to say.
And I just, like, I don't want to be associated with this thing, obviously, more than anybody else does. And am I an angel of a person? No. I mean, I'm like anybody else, and I guess I don't want you, maybe I don't want you looking at every website I visited, and
I can believe
so I think I'll talk to my wife, and if she's cool with it, then we'll do it.
Can I, I'm gonna get something, I'm gonna show you something just really quick, I'll be right back.
Where you going, Lickett?
Use the crushing to recycle.
Sure, do you want to know?
No, I did.
One of these is fuller than the other, so. But no, we're trying to give you a hard time.
I understand.
Again, we're just trying to get these things taken care
And
of.
I get that.
For a long time, so.
I get that, but, and I guess that's, not that I ever question anybody's integrity, but
That's fine.
it's just, I know that it's a point where, I mean, you want closure. You want closure for a family, and
Um,
I'm not, again, I'm not, I don't know you from Adam.
no, it's fine.
I just, but you also can't say it's never happened where pieces have been, we find a piece that's close to fitting and make it fit, and I just don't, I'm
I
gonna
just
get
want you to
you.
see why we came to you. This is
Okay.
this is from the beginning.
Okay,
It's basically tip 74.
okay.
That's
I
my
understand. I get you.
I don't want you to think that we're,
Look, here it is, dude. Tip 74. That's all you need to see.
Right.
Right there. Shut you down. Look, tip number 7. We just found it, by the way. We just fucking found this thing, dude. Can you believe that shit? Well, we didn't. Kathy Shank did.
Right. Exactly.
Old cookie lady, sleeping the floors.
just randomly coming after you.
And you've been.
Oh, I don't think you're coming after me. It's not that.
You've been completely honest with this. She said, well, what the information you can see right there, Mr. Allen was on the trail between 1330.
Really, Jeff? How long have you followed the case? You got all that? What makes people think that Kathy Allen wore the pants? See, people have very different takes on that. People were saying he was gaslighting her. He was, being horrible to Kathy. I didn't get that take from it. Because Jeff says, I think he, in general, fears his wife and she wears the pants. This is a serious conversation he needs to have with his wife. The cops are looking at me, honey. They want to come through our entire home and our life. Should I get a lawyer now? What do you think? That's a discussion a couple should have, right?
and 15:30,
That's three.
that's
I mean, I don't think that,
what time that was.
I know I wasn't out there that late. I don't know what I told him that day, but I know I wasn't out there till 3:30 or so. Yeah, it's 3:30.
That would be right around 1:30 until 3:30.
No, I'm saying when I left. 1:30 would have been more of the time I would have left,
Okay.
not gotten there. Because the only reason I remember is because I know I left around 11 o'clock or so because they were getting ready to go do lunch.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't going to do the lunch thing with everybody, so
And
I
you
just
told
went
us-
home and
Right.
was going to watch the stock market, thought it was a nice day, and I'd go take a walk on the trail before I get.
Yeah, so things we're asking you is nothing any different than we ask anybody else around there.
Yep. And look at all the stuff you told us, and there's nothing.
So Joe, here he says he was gone by 1:30,
Yep.
but he still hasn't brought up the beers yet,
Yeah.
which that probably comes out as they continue to press him for details, right? And that was the only thing extra that came out, I guess, in those conversations.
Yeah. The only thing that bothers me about that is that's not consistent with what he told Doolin.
Right.
He-
Right. Mhm.
Yeah. But also, could Doolin have written it down wrong?
Well, Doolin wrote down his whole damn name wrong.
Yeah.
And then Doolin forgot all about his interview with him. Never once he even lived there. Y'all, they plastered the video for 5 years and photos, sketches of the bridge guy. And that officer, ding, 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 the light bulb never went off in his head.
Doolin
Never.
was even at several press conferences.
Standing right there by the law as they showed you the video. And whole time Doolin was responsible for letting this man walk free for 5 years. But we're going to just overlook that. Although Jesse may feel differently about you, Doolin, in the way you lied about him.
Inconsistent here. So,
I guess I was actually watching my stock, so it must have been working. You asked me about that. Vehicles parked at the High Bridge Trailhead. It wasn't, I mean, it was that farmer's pull-off is where I was seeing it.
Different people call.
Sure, gotcha.
See, there, he continues to correct them about where he parked at, too.
And you have the information off my cell phone, so.
yes, that's what I'd really like to have, that cell phone in particular.
So what information from the cell phone did they have besides the phone number? Because he wasn't in the geofence warrant.
But again, that's why we're here.
Sure, and I get that.
We're trying to put, if there's any pieces you missed or anything that you can recollect.
Sure, and that's honestly, that's what I thought this was. And I mean, there's nothing else I can really think of, but as far as searching my house and my phones and like.
Well, let me say, I haven't even got to that yet. I just want to let you know, those things have been very helpful for us, okay? I'm not necessarily asking right now.
How have they been helpful?
Eliminating people.
What we do is we can say for sure, okay,
Sure.
and we didn't find anything, okay? That's how we estimate the successfulness.
And I guess, I see that.
Yeah.
I guess when you say progress, it's like we're still where we were. And I'm not saying you haven't made progress.
No.
You obviously have. I'm just saying, like, we're here because we haven't found the guy that did this. And I'm not going to turn into that guy. I'm not going to, I don't want to become the target of something because, like I said, we watch a Dateline every week. We watch everything, and it's one of those, I mean, there's nothing that's
Pay attention to them Dateline shows, dude. They will come in handy one day.
going to tie me to it, and I'm not worried about that. to have people come and start searching my
But you don't ever want to be the subject of Dateline episode, guys. Not a good look.
house and stuff. I mean, my wife doesn't even know I'm here talking to people, so, but I mean, I can look for the phone, I'll talk to her, and I mean, obviously, anytime that you feel that you need that information quicker, I know you can get it. It's not like you can't get it if you want it. I'm not an idiot.
What information would that be?
Searching my house, searching
Oh,
my
okay.
phone, searching my...
Well, and again, the reason I said search your house and your car would be to be able to say to someone, look, we did actually take care of this information. We know for sure, okay, what was there, what we found, and that gives us the answer.
I think he's into them because in general, if you don't think you're a suspect and you think they're just trying to get to the bottom of, ruling you out as they keep explaining, then you're going to be talking more. And you're trying to explain to them what they're asking you, which is your answers, but they continue not to believe them. But he should have shut up and got a lawyer. But many people don't. That's the problem.
We need for a particular situation that we're dealing with.
Sure.
Okay.
There's been for the temperature, if you want to call it, for the longest time was how many times have we heard, oh, they lawyered up already. They're guilty. I heard that for 2 years until defense attorneys began to come on Twitter and YouTube and say, hey guys, maybe you should lawyer up. That doesn't mean you're guilty. It means you're smart.
It doesn't mean that we're trying to put anybody in a box, okay, anything like that. I know you brought up several times wanting to be able to
man. We're not trying to put anybody in a box. Guess where he wound up.
Well, guess what came out of the box? A tip came out of the box and they put RA in a box.
Oh man.
Wrapped it all up in a neat little bow, didn't they?
Yep, they sure did.
Holy shit.
Is all the case. No, what we want to do is be able to find the person who...
Absolutely.
That's
what I mean.
Not try to put anybody in that box that wasn't responsible for what happened. Okay?
I understand that.
So,
I'm not saying you just want to label somebody, but, I had nothing to do with it. I haven't been a part of this investigation. I mean, I have with what I did, and now obviously you questioned me further, and that's fine, but
sure.
It's a horrible thing, and I mean, I don't want to be any more involved in it than what I have to be.
Mm-hmm.
If I thought I had something that was useful, by all means, I'd give you anything I had. I just don't know what's going to be useful to you.
Sure, I understand. So that's one of the reasons why we asked for the phone, is to be able to nail down that aspect of it, especially the phone that would have been involved in that situation, which would be the phone you gave the information on to the officer.
Sure.
And also, something that would be very important to look at would be your car, because when somebody does something that's involved in something like this,
sure,
there might be traces of biological information and data or substances that were left behind inside the vehicle. So,
sure,
that makes sense. So, would it be helpful for us to be able to look at your car to be able to determine if there be anything like that inside of it, forensically? Okay. Forensically means that we'd have a close examination of the car.
I know that.
And then again, like everything else that we're telling you, then we can say, we looked at Rick, we looked at his car, there was nothing in his car. That's the point. That's the whole point of everything.
Yeah, this is out of left field, guys. I mean, I'm going to talk to my wife before I do anything. I mean, this affects her as much as it affects me. And I know you guys don't talk to people. I don't hear a bunch of rumors out there, but I mean, I don't want anybody knowing that I talk to you guys.
Oh, I understand.
It's just not
And
something
we don't do that.
Sure.
That's not something we want to do at all. So, we don't just go out and randomly talk to people and stuff like this.
Sure, I understand.
Okay. So, with the phone, you say you want to take some time, more time to think about it. Couple things that I wanted to ask you about. Would you mind, sir, if we stepped out for a little bit and
Sure.
came back? Are we okay with you?
I'd be like, do you mind if I step out and not come back?
For real. Like, y'all stepping out, I'm stepping out. I'm going home now. Y'all come knocking, y'all got that warrant. So y'all claim you got such good probable cause, right? You got good probable cause. Then go get your warrant. Because without probable cause, you're not getting it. Unless it's fabricated.
I think we need just a few minutes right back.
Where y'all going? To confer with somebody else outside that door. Who could that be? Who would it be now? I think, yeah, this is one of the versions. I had the person fast forwards through all this. I don't even know how long they left Rick sitting there. Do you know that's got to be in? We saw how long they left Stern sitting in the room, and we get it. You know, why do they do that? Is this like a mentality thing? Are they watching? Is there one in the mirror? No, that's a cheap ass little room. There ain't no mirror in there. Three-way shit. I can
No,
tell.
there's just the camera right here that we see this.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm looking like, where's that three-way? They don't have one. But what is the point of leaving the suspect in that room for so long? You think it's like a psychological game they play? I've always wondered that. Like, why? What's taking so long? I would get so bored and probably cold. Okay, they're coming back in. Cue that piss spray. I think RA drank more water than they did.
Hey, how you doing? So, what I want to do is kind of show you some of the stuff that we do have here.
We're about to start showing him crime scene photos, Joe.
Important. Why it's important, we get your
I
cooperation.
want to figure out.
One of the things that you
I want to figure out the orientation of that photo on there, and I want to go back and look at this again and try and map out where he's pointing as how it relates. I assume that it's facing
Are
him.
you talking about the parking?
Yeah. Yep.
I got a couple of things I'm going to send you later that I found that I wanted to show you. So I want to show you that as well. But yeah, I know where your mind's going with that, and I like it. But notice this other picture right here on top where Mullins just laid down those photos.
Yep.
That very top photo, guys, is allegedly a screenshot of Rick Allen's car passing the Hoosier Harvester store. As it passed, instead of collecting the footage from the store, they took a screenshot of the car and multiple other cars that passed by that morning, just screenshots of it, and then left the footage there for 5 straight years. And then allegedly was able to retrieve that footage 5 years later. But it doesn't show anything. It's grainy as fuck. But it sure don't show no muddy and bloody guy or any guy walking past it at any point. But yeah, that's you can you see it, Joe? With the car?
Yep, absolutely. It does look just like that. Yep. Now,
Yep.
He was going east to west, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
was that you have.
And welcome in everybody who's just joined or joined up in the past 30, 40 minutes. I think it's a tactic to drain people. I think so. I think it's a psychological thing they do. It's crazy. Thank you guys for all coming in and being a part of the conversation. That's why we're here. If the video will start back on time. Why does it do it when I go to replay every time?
Driven out there in your car, and you think you've driven out there in your car. We have a picture of your car that shows it was going out to the trails that day. Okay, and now one of the important.
Joe, did you notice how fast he took that away? Like,
Yeah.
they're just like, and he kind of went to look and they pulled it away quick. I'd have been like, no, bring that back. Excuse me? You say that's my car? You know, I got questions at this point. No, hold up. You about to show me a stack of photos and glance them at me? I'm not happening.
Important things for us is to help understand exactly where you were at that day, what was going on. You've already told us that you were out there. That's really, really important.
Sure.
Okay.
Obvious.
So with that, what I wanted to you work through this whole thing. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We've been able to talk to your wife,
Sure.
talk to your daughter already. Well, this is all happening. We had time to do all that.
Sure.
And we've heard that you had some issues, even at one point put a gun in your mouth, that you were going to do something to yourself, maybe 3 years or so. And, look, there's a lot here that we need to get clarified, okay? As you well...
Now, what's that story got to do with the stack of pictures I'm about to show you?
Right.
No, we have pictures
Kind of like, Koberger's past don't make him a murderer either.
of an individual that was on the bridge. And to some great degree, you described that individual as wearing, yourself as wearing blue jeans, a jacket of the same color as that. He described a hat. It's hard to see the shoes, but they're kind of brown. Okay? And this is a picture that was taken with the phone of one of the girls.
Okay, I understand that.
And the question needs to be, is that you?
If it was taken with the girl's phone, that is that.
The question needs to be, is that you? You tell me, Mullins, because y'all told Kathy Allen y'all have an expert to prove that's her husband on that bridge. But here you are asking, is that you?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not me, but I never have met these girls before, so even if I thought it looked like me, if it was taken with the girl's phone, there's no way it could be. I've never met them. I've never seen them.
All right, so that's
And as far, well,
Joe, they made a big deal about that statement in court. Well, if it was taken from the girl's phone, it couldn't be me. They made it sound a way that that's not what I'm seeing in this video, right?
Right.
It's way different. There's several times, there's several things they do that here. When I hear the conversation, I'm like, wait a minute. That's not how he testified to that on the witness stand. And I'll go back and let you know, because we weren't just looking at one person's report. I looked at a bunch of mainstream media, did a great job recapping the days. Joe was there. He did a great job. Bob Mata was there. Lawyer Lee was there. Andrea Burke. We all know who all was there. And they all had very good information at the end of the day. But when I went back and compared notes with certain things, they would line up. And the testimony about these interviews from the cops themselves do not line up at all.
and let's just stop there. As far as my psychological well-being,
Okay.
I've been dealing with that for years. It's not something new. It's not something because I went out and killed girls. Now I've got psychological problems. Have I had issues? Did I stick a gun? I know how a gun works, and I wasn't going to shoot myself that night. It was probably a cry for help that night. You've obviously talked to my wife, so it is what it is. But I know that you haven't talked to anybody that knows me, has been around me, my family, not my family, that thinks that I may have been involved in this. That wouldn't believe it.
But this image, this person right here, he's wearing like a Carhartt jacket, just like you just told us.
Okay.
He's wearing the same clothing that you just told us. We just need to know what happened. Why?
Sure. I said I was wearing blue jeans. Now, I think blue jeans is a pretty common thing that people wear, and I said I was probably wearing a black or a blue coat.
Yep.
It could have been a Carhartt, a zip-up with a hoodie in it. I've had black ones. I've had a blue one, or a blue one and a black one. I guess, you're taking what I told you I was wearing and saying that that's me, and it.
So the other kind of,
And you're serious. You literally want me to, that is you want me to say that that's my car?
We looked at the...
well, no, wait, it matches everything. That is your car.
Okay, well, I'm saying that picture, it's like, okay,
Yeah, no, that there's zero doubt that that's you.
I don't even,
Okay, that's
We're
fine.
just showing you what we have and why we need to eliminate it. That's the point.
Sure. All right, well, we're all done here.
Well, here's what
Unless you want to arrest me, that's fine.
here's what I want to say to you at this point, look, we have a lot of information here that we need clarification.
Sure.
Okay, if
And
you
that's
say we're
exactly
done
why
here,
we're
get
talking
up
to
and
you.
walk away.
Well, and that's
And
fine.
so what we want to do is be able to
Okay.
take a look at your cell phone, take a look at all the data, help us out. That would be great. Or, conversely, in this situation, we've already talked to your employees, and we already know
We
that
want to. We want to. You know what my mom used to say?
We haven't said anything about that, but they say you're a
What's that? Shitting
Wishing
one way and
one-
wanting the
yep.
other.
Yep.
nice
See which
guy.
one feels
And I
better.
believe you.
Exactly. These, I mean, I don't know why he can continue to, I don't know if he could just thought he could continue to say, I've told y'all I know, and they're going to be like, okay, well, we're cool. But they're not going to be cool until you get up and go get a lawyer or they arrest you, one of the two. I don't know why he's still sitting there.
You're a nice guy.
Oh, okay.
Look, I have no reason.
I mean,
let me paint a picture for you. We went to your house.
No, you got a job to do, and I get
we
that.
went to your house.
You sit down here
We,
and
we went to your house this
we're
morning.
having a conversation, and
We went to your house this morning, and what we did was knocked on the door. You let us inside. We had a nice conversation, and that's great. That's really positive.
Of course it is.
You came here to the center and drove down. You rode in the car with us.
yeah.
And we had a chance to sit down and talk. You're not a fellow who is, I think, a mean fellow. You're not the kind of guy that would go out and do something malicious to somebody. So a lot of what we're trying to get figured out here today, right now, is exactly what's going on here. Why is this information showing us one thing, but then you're telling us another?
What is it showing you? What?
This information
I'm going to say that is, just say that is my car. I told you I could have been driving that car.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what it is but this seems to have taken a turn, You're sitting here and you're talking to me and you're asking me things, and I get that.
Most people.
But now it's turning into...
Most people have wanted to be eliminated from this.
Well, sure.
That's
I don't want to be included to begin with. So until the point that you have something that tells you that I did this and you want to subpoena or arrest me or something, I've got nothing to worry about. So I'm not real concerned here, but your attitudes towards me have definitely changed, and I don't like the fact that, it feels more like I'm being interrogated, and so then you're going to tell me that you've already talked to my wife and my daughter and stuff. Like, how straightforward is that?
Well, what would you? Okay, let's turn everything around. Tell me what you would do differently if you were in our situation. You had this information. How would you react? What would you do? You do the same thing that we were doing right now.
What information is it that you have?
We have.
You have that I was out there, and I told you from the very beginning that I was out there.
Yes, you did.
I didn't hide it.
Did you see this guy?
I didn't know.
Okay.
I told you. I see the only person that I clearly remember seeing that, and this isn't from today. I mean, this is the next day. The only people or person that came into my mind were those three girls that I seen.
Richard, we're not upset with you, not mad at you, anything like that. We're just
Sure.
trying to get to the bottom of
Okay.
this. Okay?
No, upset and
I'm-
mad has
I'm
nothing
not,
to do with it.
I'm not here.
Next, they're going to say, we don't think you're a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's childish bullshit to me. I'm like, I'm not two, motherfucker. You're sitting here. Now you're talking down to me. That's how I would be offended. That's how I roll with that.
well,
You
I
think
would have
you're-
got up and walked out a long
I
time
would have
ago.
too. I'd have been saying a lot of choice words as well. But yeah, that's what cops do. They want to play nice, and we're here to help. And wait till Holman's worse. Oh my God, Holman's worse.
To give you a hard time. I'm just here to try to get this situation straightened out. And what we want to do is simply get to the truth. What would help us get to the truth is being able to look inside of some of the things you're talking about, okay?
No,
I get that.
motherfucker, no.
And maybe
And on the
Joe, I've been waiting all week to do this show with you. I was like, I'm not doing it without him. So thank God they was off in Lori's today, y'all. Joe did get a good night's sleep last night because I made sure this morning. I'm like, dude, if you need to take some time, I get it. He's like, no, I think I'm good. So I appreciate you coming up with me. I do. Why did they kick the FBI out, right? We don't know.
Because the FBI had their own ideas about who was guilty.
They had several, actually, and none of those ideas included Rick Allen.
And they pointed the Indiana State Police to those suspects, and the Indiana State Police Keystone copped it, and they overwrote the interviews.
Yeah, and let's not forget where the bodies were found on Ron Logan's property. The state of Indiana, the county police, they didn't obtain search warrants to search Ron Logan's property. The FBI did. A female FBI officer who was highly suspicious of Ron Logan did her own investigation and report into Ron Logan, and she was able to obtain 2 search warrants on that man's property, but nothing panned out of it. And the other FBI agents working were the ones working the Odinist angle. And then Todd Click had to go and legally certify mail the prosecutor to let him know, hey, why haven't y'all looked at my report? You know, what's going on here? And guess what? He was supposed to testify at the trial, and lo and behold, that man got arrested right before trial, Joe.
Yep.
Within days.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a week at the most.
Week at the most. Imagine that. Gonna go arrest the former FBI agent who was investigating the Odinist angle that could really do some damage to your case.
I don't think he was the FBI agent. I think he was the town cop.
He was a Terre Haute officer.
Ferenczi.
Yeah, it was okay. There was 3 involved on the task force. Greg Ferenczi was one of them. Todd Click was one of them. And what was the other's name? But Ferenczi is the one that was killed.
Right. And Click was arrested.
Exactly. The other one's retired now. I forgot his name. He's brought up he's Murphy. Was it Murphy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the only one left of those 3 investigators. Well, not left, but he didn't go, get arrested. But Click was the one aggressively pushing as to why they were ignored all the way up to the trial.
He was the Rushville police officer down there around Ellis Fields area.
Yes, it would also be down there where Messer and all the rest of them boys hang out at.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of things, sure. And on the other side of things, if I thought I had something that was going to help you, that would, what do I have that's going to help you?
Okay. Well, I have some questions we can go through here, if you don't mind. And
I think we're done.
We have some other questions here that we could go through here. And what I could do...
Want to hear the questions? What does that hurt?
Some of the questions that we can ask you are simply this. And I don't want you to feel like these questions all sound strange, and it'd be very even accusing in nature, but I want you to understand I'm not...
You think they just sound strange, but they're really not.
Yeah, we're not trying to accuse you of everything. They may sound like we're accusing you of something, but we're really not. We're
just trying to rule you out, dude. Like we did them Odinist.
But trying to offend you. But they help us out. They help us out by getting to a little bit farther along in this matter.
So, I don't know. Like I said, you went, you talked to my daughter and my wife.
What do you want?
I have no clue.
I can't tell you what happened.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what that
I can tell you that if that picture was, you can sit and take anybody and say, well, if they were wearing this and wearing that, that could be them. If that picture was taken from one of the girls' phones,
here's the problem with that.
Because I've never met them.
No, but listen, here's the problem with that. You know why you can put a lot of people and say they're wearing blue jeans and a blue coat, but you know what the difference is? No, you said you were there.
Well, sure I did.
We have people that saw you. Okay.
Ricky said you were out on the bridge yourself.
I would love to know what all the other men that were there that day were wearing. What types of coats, what types of pants, what types of headgear. Every single one of them.
There aren't that many people that saw me. I mean, I'm sure I didn't miss that many people. They walked behind me, I guess.
You said that you were out on the bridge, this bridge, yourself that day around the time when this happened.
No, I didn't.
You said you walked out onto the bridge. When we talked to you earlier, you said that you walked out to about the first platform or within that area down the bridge. That's what you told us. So we know that you were on the bridge.
Of course I was.
Okay?
And I told you that.
And with that, you know, we can say that, is this person you? That's the question. Is that person you? That's the question we have to answer.
Sure.
Okay? So if that person is you, we know this person followed the girls all the way to the other side of the bridge and then told them to go down the hill.
Followed. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like you're saying, don't.
Okay. So the bridge here. Okay. This.
Wait.
This is the girls
What does he
walking
mean?
towards
What does he mean right there?
What?
I don't know what you're talking about because everybody knows about down the hill. But what is it? What does he mean by I don't know what you're talking about?
They're saying that this bridge guy followed the girls across, or they're telling him it's him. You followed the girls across to the other side and told them down the hill. And he's like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. He didn't do any of that. He didn't. That's what he's saying. What's your take on that? Do you think he doesn't? What do you mean?
That's what I don't know. That was just my question, and I don't have an answer. What does he mean by what do you mean? I don't, because everybody knows about down the hill. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'm trying to figure out what he's asking them for clarification on. Okay, carry on.
Well, I think it's like, what do you mean? Because you're telling me that's me, and I followed him across the bridge and said down the hill. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
the other side of the bridge from where the trailhead is at.
The other side.
The other side of the bridge. And this person followed them all the way to the other side of the bridge where the...
Yeah. So let's just...
And told them to go down the hill.
Okay, so let me stop here. I don't appreciate you trying to talk me into this.
No.
This is what I said. You're trying to change my words around. I told you I was on the bridge. Now you just told me this is the trailhead side of the bridge.
Over here on this
And
side.
you're saying I told you I walked on the bridge.
You said you walked on that bridge that day.
And that first trestle is somewhere,
Back there? Okay.
it's somewhere over there.
Help me understand. Okay. You came out this far. We
Help me understand. How much more clear can you get that I went out to the first platform? Over and over and over and over. I went out to the first platform. But help me understand. I'm going to... No. Take me home now. You already got... So he has no idea until just a few minutes ago. While he's here, they have Kathy somewhere else, and they're talking to her.
You know,
I did.
You
I didn't go out that far.
You came out that far, is what you told us.
I'm not going to tell you how. I can't tell by that how far out I was.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. You're saying that's me, and you're saying this is the far side of the bridge. I don't even go out that far anymore. I haven't for years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for years, but back then that was in 2017. Okay, and the question is this you?
No.
Okay, so you're telling me that this person was out there on the bridge and wore the same clothing that you had on that day, but you didn't see them.
You can't tell that's a black Carhartt coat, a blue Carhartt coat, a pullover. I told you I could have been wearing this.
The two kinds of clothing you said you wore that day was either a black Carhartt coat or a blue Carhartt coat. Okay, you said you had blue jeans, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've had a jacket.
Okay, so put yourself in my chair.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm not going to tell you I wasn't wearing a black Carhartt that day. I told you I could have been. I don't know if that's a black Carhartt. And if it is, it's not mine, it's his.
And you said you had a hat you normally wear, a skull cap, which covers...
I said I carry one,
Carry
so
one.
if I was wearing one, it would be like a skull cap or a smaller type of hat or something.
Okay. So
Which
this
is
the
nothing like the
situation
hat
we're
the
at,
bridge guy
okay?
was wearing.
Basically
in the
this.
sketch.
Either you were out there to do this to the girls, or you were out there to be able to introduce the girls to somebody else.
Okay. Good luck finding anything that points in that direction. I mean, it's not me. You're not going to make me believe it's me. You're not going to find anything that ties me to those murders. So I'm not really that concerned. You know, you went from trying to, I don't know what you want to say, get my trust and then slowly lure me into telling you I killed somebody and I'm not going to do it. You know, I don't know where this changed course.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time, really not. I just want you to put yourself in the situation where we as police officers are looking at all the evidence that we have and what you've told us right now, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, not trying to give you a hard time, just want to make sure that we get everything taken care of here. That's why
All the evidence that we have. You mean a picture of my car and a man that looks like me in a place I told you I was at? That's what you have.
Not even a picture of a car. It's a screen cap of
Mhm.
of a car
Of a
driving.
moving vehicle. Mhm.
Yes, that's not clear to see. The only thing they could tell was that quote unquote sunlight shone through the wheel spokes, so they knew that it was like spoked
But
wheels.
Joe, we're not looking at screenshots or videos of Koberger's alleged car. So,
Hmm.
you know, it yeah, I agree with you, man. It's a freaking grainy picture and you're still shot. And why they didn't collect the actual video is beyond me. That would be like policing 101. I need the entire video. Because right now we don't know who did this horrible thing, and we got cars coming and going, and I need the whole video. They may need to refer back to that at some point instead of just grabbing screenshots from it. It was
Right.
ridiculous, right?
we wanted to look at the things that we wanted to look at.
And that's not going to happen now. I mean, like I said, we're done here. So arrest me or take me home.
I understand. So
Arrest me or take me home. I'm done.
these...
This is stupid.
Okay. So that day, that's your phone. So on that day,
Arrest me or take me home twice, but instead Steve Mullins never gets up and offers to take him home. He
Yeah.
continues to want to question him.
you went out there
I'd freaking walk.
on the bridge, and that you were wearing the same clothing, that basically the same clothing that this person here is wearing.
That's what you think. I don't know how you can tell that that's a black Carhartt coat, which is what I told you, a black or blue Carhartt coat. Never mind. This is ridiculous. You're trying to tell me that I gave you a description of this guy and I didn't. I mean, we all looked at this thing for months and years, and to me that doesn't even look like a Carhartt coat.
We can't say it's not, can you? I mean, neither one of us can.
Okay, you're right.
Can't say it's
You're
not.
right.
I mean, we can't say that it's not a Carhartt coat. We can't say that that hat isn't similar to the one that you was
They made a big deal out of that statement too. That you're
Yeah.
right, right? Remember?
Yeah.
had at one point. So,
Okay.
with all those things in view,
You've lost my trust. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. This is stupid. Now you pissed me off.
well, I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
And I have,
So let's get, are you arresting me?
I really want to try to get
Are
this
you
thing worked out,
arresting me?
okay? I want to try to get this thing worked out.
Am I free to leave or not?
You've always been free to leave.
So yes, Daniel Nations was arrested in Colorado, but he was looked into the Delphi case. Legitimately investigated him in the Delphi case. The investigators out of Kentucky who were investigating Bill and Peggy Stevenson's case was a ritualistic crime. Whoever did it spent hours in that townhouse with those two old people. that he unalived. Um, rearranged things, staged the bodies, left something behind of peculiarity. And the investigators in that case, I made a whole video on it, reached out to the investigators in Delphi because they wanted to compare notes. And there was a particular item of interest to them, but they wouldn't name that item. But Delphi's like, no, Kentucky. We can't have those kind of eyes looking. So Rick Allen gets up.
Thank you. You're an asshole.
You're an asshole. Yeah, you are. Okay, so that was the end of that one, guys. Is it like, Joe, you all right over there? It's, if you want to cuss, it's okay.
I did.
I don't want to encourage you,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I did.
Okay.
I said
Go ahead.
motherfuckers.
Oh shit!
did.
I don't want to be the bad influence, but go, you go. Let me pull up the next one. I'm getting hungry for lunch, guys. What are y'all having for lunch? Okay. Let me get this.
Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to go soon. I got to go take care of some business.
How much longer do you think you have?
Probably to the top of the hour.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start reviewing this Mullins interview. And if we will come back, maybe I'm on with Miss Shorty tonight at 5 Eastern, guys. I need to drop her link in the chat. Pokemon, are you here for us? One of you guys. Anyway, she has her show planned tonight. I'll be over there at 5 Eastern. Or yeah, I'm gonna keep. No, I think it's 4 Eastern. Let me double check. She had to correct me twice yesterday, but she understands that my clocks and calendars are broken. Let's see. What did she tell me? Okay, yeah, 5 Eastern. So, and that's 7 a.m. for her, guys. So tonight it'll be like 5 my time, but 7 a.m. her time. She's a rock star. But I'll be over there tonight discussing the Brian Koberger case with Ms. Shorty. Joe, if we don't get to like these phone calls, are you available tomorrow to do anything?
Yeah, I'm supposed to do the next segment in my Glenn Pace memo with Kresha at some point, and I don't know exactly when that's going to happen yet. She's got to get back to me. She's got a couple of other things. She was on with Justin Lum, watching the trial, watching yesterday. So Justin Lum is the Fox 10 reporter that is a regional Emmy Award winner.
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
He has not been in the courtroom like Nate Eaton has. He actually sits in a studio and they trial watch from the studio.
Yeah.
But she was on with him yesterday commenting and stuff and talking about her mom, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that I saw that she was on there. I haven't had a chance to give that a review yet. I mean,
her and her mom just remind me so much of each other.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I was sitting right behind Kay yesterday, and so that was pretty cool. I got to see her testify and just give Lori. I mean, I wish Lori had like continued to question her because she was just going to get it right back in her face every time.
I love the way, because you know how Lori got in trouble that every time she was questioning, especially Nancy Joe, she would question her, Nancy would answer, and Lori would have a comment to make, right?
Yep.
Or she would say things like, oh, I bet, or whatever. And when Kay took the same opportunity and did the same thing back to Lori.
She sure did.
She mirrored that energy right back. I thought, Lady Lori, all your energy work all these years is no match for Kay Woodcock's energy, honey. And it showed. Lori she was drained of all her damn energy up there in front of Kay. It was funny. Okay, so let's pull this up.
All right.
This is the excuse me, hold on. Let me grab a drink real quick.
Is this the one where he forgot to press record while he read the Miranda rights?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Well, they're gonna get read again. But this is
okay.
This is the arrest date. So this is after that initial interview, and they had now obtained their search warrants and already went through the house. Remember when he was sitting in the car with Holman while the house was being searched? And he said to Holman, "It doesn't matter now; it's all over with," or whatever that statement was.
Yep.
Then he goes and rides to the station with Holman, and then they also have Kathy separated at this time from Rick. And those of us who watched, can't say watched the trial, those of us who followed the trial know what they were doing to Kathy in the next room. But Rick has no idea what they're doing to his wife in the next room. We will find out.
Which means absolutely nothing to you. This is a property record and receipt. So this, it's going to read kind of funny, but you'll see. So we seal everything. So sealed paper bag containing 1 pair of dirty Thorgood boots, size 7.5 mins. And then on down. So we took the clothing that you had mentioned that you possibly could have been wearing the day you're on the bridge.
Okay.
And then we also took some knives.
Okay.
We took your car, and then we also took a weapon, a SIG 40, right?
Okay.
Right there. I used to be a Beretta guy. I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Stopped at Berettas, and then when I first got on the state police, we had Berettas as well, and then we went to Glocks for a little bit.
Sure.
And then we went to SIGs.
I was trying to think of what we even had. I think the Berettas were probably coming out just before I got out. Because they used to have the old 45s.
Beretta?
No, they were
Springfield.
I have no idea, honestly. They were the government issued 45s. Yeah.
Yeah, we had I think there were 40 Berettas.
Truth, I'd say the odds are pretty good because I also live in small town America and I am rural as they come right now. And I promise you, I've made this statement. If I go to the corner store, the only gas station out here, I'm going to see 5 dudes and they're all going to look alike because they all deer hunt all winter and they fish all summer. And they're all going to have similar looking trucks with similar looking shit all over them trucks, and their clothes are going to all be the same. I promise you.
And I think when I came on in 2001 in the state police, we had Berettas, but we went to Glocks, not a huge fan of Glocks, but SIGs.
Mm-hmm.
If I could build an indoor range and afford the ammo, I'd shoot that thing every day.
Yeah.
You shoot yours?
I've not had a lot of experience, no.
No?
I mean, target practice here and there. It's probably been, I don't even remember. I haven't shot them in a long time, I know that.
Do they have like an indoor range in Delphi?
No, not that I know of. Honestly, I don't even know where. I haven't looked. There used to be one in Kokomo. That's the only thing I know.
Where you
That's
live
where
in, Yeah, and you live in town, so you can't go out your back door and shoot it.
No, I probably could. It probably wouldn't be a good idea, but.
I live out in the country, so
Mm-hmm.
I know my closest neighbor's like 2 miles away, so I shoot mine out there. I got like a ditch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an indoor range, but I have like a ditch I can shoot and stuff like that. So, like I said, these are the items that we took. These are the items that we're testing. Some tests take longer than others.
Holman was trying to bait him into a conversation about shooting guns.
Yep.
Others, as you know.
Good old Reid technique.
So the lab wants me to ask a few questions just about to help us with the testing, and you'll understand when I ask you.
Okay.
So, for example, they took a lot of swabs. They're taking swabs off of everything.
Okay.
So what they want to know is, have you ever loaned anything out that we've taken? And again, I just told you what we took. I realized that, but mostly some.
The lab asked me to ask these questions. The lab don't give a shit, Holman. The lab gave you results. Now the rest is on you. They're not going to say, hey, go back and ask that guy to loan that gun out. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Right. The major items that, have you ever loaned them out for a significant time? Because if, for example, my buddy's fuel pump went out in his truck. He said, hey, can I borrow your old truck? And I said, yeah. It says it's going to be 2 weeks, ended up being 5 or 6 months.
Oh, hell.
That would be a significant time frame. That, my buddy's DNA would be in that truck.
What
Is
DNA?
there anything that you've loaned?
What DNA?
Right.
What DNA would be in your truck, Jerry, if you loaned it out to your buddy? It'd be all over it. Where is Richard Allen's DNA? It's not all over your crime scene. Hell, it's not on one single thing you got, including that bullet off his gun that you claim you got.
Now, for besides your family members, we don't care about your wife's
Not that I
DNA.
can think of.
You never loaned a truck out, or your sorry, it's a Ford Focus. Is that what it is?
I mean,
We do know this. You got DNA, but it ain't Rick Allen's.
if I do, I certainly don't remember. Most of my family has vehicles, so extra vehicles.
Yeah.
So.
The same thing like my son. He sometimes will come over and leave his coat, and I'll wear it for a couple months or something like that.
Okay.
Joe, if your son comes over, you got 5, and leaves his coat, you gonna wear it for a few months? I mean,
Nope.
if you like it, you might, right? But on general,
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Look, the little asshole left his coat. I'm wearing it. Holman.
Or my son-in-law, he'll spend money on guns. He's a gun freak. He likes to buy guns, and then he'll be like, "Hey, can I borrow $500?" And then he'll give me one of his guns as collateral. And then when he gets the money back, anything like that
Nope.
you know of? Okay. So I'll let the lab know that. That's one of the big things. And then, like I said, some of the tests are already back. I do want to talk to you about one of the tests that we got the results back. The other thing is, any of these knives or the gun, did you have that the day that you recall having that with you on the day of the 13th when you were out there on the bridge?
No.
You don't remember if you did or you didn't?
I didn't. I just went out for a short walk that day.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll get to the meat and potatoes of this, Rick.
Let's do.
I appreciate you being cooperative with me.
Now I'm
I
hungry.
want to talk about the results of your handgun, okay?
Okay.
So,
Let's talk about those results, Mr. Holman.
handguns, as you know probably, you may know more about them than I do, I don't know a lot, but they're very specific
come
as far as the
on.
characteristics. of
Come
the
on,
gun.
don't
So the
insult my
firing pin is
intelligence.
different from your firing pin extraction device is different from my extraction device, and they're basically what the lab has told me is that they're like fingerprints. They're specific to that gun and that gun only.
Okay.
Okay. So we took your gun, your 40 cal SIG, and we sent it down there to the lab to have it matched with an item that we located on February the 14th when we found the girls.
Okay.
And that item was a 40 caliber Winchester round. We found that at the scene.
Okay.
The extraction marks on that round match.
Wait. He's
Okay.
Yep.
he said okay. We found your round at the scene, and he said okay.
Yeah, he's like, okay, well, tell me how. Like, you're telling me you got this. Well, okay, well, what does this even mean? I think that's the thought process. I'm trying to get behind what your thought process is. What are you guys?
I'm trying. I'm trying to read. So he's got like a little smirk on his face, not like he's agreeing to it. Okay, like what? Okay, how exactly did you find my round there? Is kind of like what I see on his face.
Right. I agree.
So,
are you guys setting me up?
Yeah.
Like, is that what this is about? Is this a setup?
Yeah. Truth exposed, my pawpaw was a very short man. I think he's probably shorter than Rick Allen. I know all about that. I'm not very tall myself.
Uh-oh.
It does it every time I start to replay. I don't know why. Every damn time. Well, not every time, but most of the time. For some reason. There ain't nobody here today. I'm the only one here on the internet.
This is okay.
just hear me out. I'm just trying
I
to.
am.
So this is the round. Okay. Those are the extraction marks. That's the best picture of them. There's actually 3 of them.
That's the best picture.
That's the same round that we found. Okay. And like I said, the methodology that they use is scientific, and they were telling me, and this is the report, you can read it, if you wish.
I don't need to read it.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to help you. You know, let me tell you something.
Okay.
Rick. You know, the prosecutor and the other investigators, they want to see you lock you up, throw away the key. I don't
This
think
is
you're
ridiculous.
Just listen to me for
Okay.
2 minutes. Let me explain this.
No, don't listen.
I'm on your
no.
side. I talked to you a little bit
Shut
out
up.
there on the
Oh,
scene.
what? I'm on your
I know
side?
you mentioned a couple.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm on your side?
This is what his about to go into this whole little spiel, dude. It's like, what the fuck am I hearing? Like
Motherfucker, I'll say it again.
It's like I'm the only one here, Rick, that's got your back. The only one. You can trust
What a
me.
scumbag.
Yeah, you can trust me, Rick.
A couple times you don't want to be the fall guy for this. You also mentioned to me the other day when I was telling you, hey, I want to check the property out, make sure there's no damage, and you said doesn't matter, it's over.
So here's the thing
And
about
you
this
made comments
video.
like that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Holman is in there alone with Rick Allen. So he has to play good cop and bad cop all by himself.
Yeah.
Does it play out like that? Just asking for a friend? He's in there all by himself. He is totally controlling this interrogation.
Yep.
And he's got to be good cop and bad cop. I knew it.
Exactly. And it's not like it was described on the witness stand by Holman. Do you know what I mean? Remember when he was downplaying his own effect of when he was cussing and stuff? He only does that at a particular, an opportunistic moment. Let's put it that way.
Me that really concerned me.
Sure.
Right. It's concerning.
And what I mean by it's over is that you've already started something here that there's no backing out of. So you've done, the damage is done, I guess is what I'm saying. That's what I would have been referring to.
Okay, and I agree with that.
Oh, you didn't hear that in trial, did you?
We've been working on this for a long time.
Didn't hear
All
that.
the evidence is clearly indicating you're involved in this. And listen to me, Rick. I don't believe you should be the fall guy. But all the evidence, you say you're out there, we have witnesses out there, we have your vehicle, we have experts. We have experts that say that's you on the video and that's your voice on the video.
Okay.
Experts, not me, because I'm not an expert.
I gotcha.
Okay, and now we have your...
What experts, Joe, were able to come into court and confirm that was his voice on the video?
I don't think we heard that at all during the trial.
People still don't fucking know. Not even the law. But here he is telling Rick, we have an expert saying that's your voice, dude. You might as well confess right here, right now.
You're around.
Mm-hmm.
That's what his wife's being told in the next room.
At the scene.
Okay.
Not on the bridge. You said you're on the bridge.
I don't even know how my bullet would have gotten out there if that's my bullet.
It's without a doubt that this is very
okay
scientific. So let me show you a picture of this round, where it was found.
Watch this, Joe. Look.
That's the round right there.
See, I hate to get graphic, guys, but this is because Joe and I have been so deep in trying to figure out a lot of things with this case. That's Libby's leg. And he's pointing, to how, remember when the photos came out finally?
Yep.
But he's pointing to where it was at. And I think he even makes reference to that being the victim's leg. So that's really like the first time RAC.
It hadn't been out there very long. That is Liberty's foot. It's within 6 inches of one of the dead girl's bodies.
There's no way.
There isn't.
I'm telling you, there's not.
How did that round get there, Rick?
I don't know how the round got there. What I'm telling you is, if that is truly what you're saying it is, it's not my round.
The scientific experts are saying, I got a report saying that round.
Oh my God!
Okay.
Are you?
But understand this:
scientific experts are telling me. Scientific
I told you
experts
I was on the bridge.
There wasn't no damn scientific expert marched in court that I was aware of.
Well, they did. They had that tool mark expert,
Well,
and they didn't allow the opposing expert.
I was about to say, Joe, if you called that person an expert, okay, but I didn't. From what they
but
yes, the defense also denied the right to bring in their expert to dispute
I don't
it.
think they had it tested by that expert at the time of this thing. So he's just making up bullshit.
Exactly. He was making the shit up as he went along. And
scientific experts. He didn't say our tool mark expert
right.
matches this to your weapon,
And he didn't
because
say
they,
we had to fire
yeah,
it 6 different times before we could even get a match or
right. No,
close
no, I
enough.
know for a fact it hadn't been tested yet because they had just conducted the search warrant, and it was months, if not, I mean, it was many, many, many months before they tested it and fired it 6 times.
Right.
And
Exactly. Just like him
he's just,
lying about the voice analysis done that they
oh
claimed
my
they did.
God.
They didn't have any proof at this point of anything. Lawyer up.
Listen, right now, like I said, I got a prosecutor and investigators ready to lock you up. And if you don't give us a narrative,
I got a prosecutor and investigators that want to lock you up.
if you don't tell us your side of the story, there's two sides to every story. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you.
I get that.
The media is going to portray you as this
I know.
monster, and you don't want your wife.
And it's
your
already
daughter
going to
to
get there anyway.
Classic,
Yeah. So this is your chance to
classic
tell us
Reid
exactly.
technique right there. Classic Reid technique. There are two sides to the story. I want to know your side. The media is going to portray you as a monster. I don't believe you're a bad guy. I need to hear your side of the story. Classic Reid technique.
Yeah. And I hate how many times he done told his story and they've still not shown him any concrete evidence of anything yet. Except a picture of his car, a picture of a guy on a bridge, and a picture of a bullet that they claim came from his gun. Well, I need to go get me an attorney because I got to figure this out.
Unlike some people, most people, I care what people think about me, and
you do.
You've already set that ball rolling.
Yeah, but there's only one way to get out in front of it, and that's to tell the truth. What happened that day?
I can't tell you what happened that day.
You can tell us.
How?
There's no doubt in my mind that the evidence clearly indicates that you're involved in this. Are you the mastermind behind this? I don't know.
Mastermind, okay.
Did somebody else set this up? I don't know, Rick.
You don't know, Holman, if somebody else set that up or if Rick was a mastermind? I thought y'all said he was the sole person responsible. Huh.
I want to know. And only you know. The truth will set you free.
The truth will set you free. Will it?
That's it.
Yeah.
The truth will protect you from the
Well,
media.
that's what I would have thought.
Well, tell the truth. Tell me how this round got next to one of our girls, in between both girls.
I don't know.
You do know. And if you don't tell me, you're going down for this.
Well, okay.
I'm serious.
What?
This isn't a joking matter.
I'm not joking.
You're this
Do you
close.
realize what you've done to me? This is like, you've talked to the people I work with, you've talked to my neighbors.
Truth. I grew up in a family that we were taught as young girls how to shoot those guns. And my daddy taught me how to hold them, how to expect a kick from a shotgun blast, all the things. To walk away with a bruise on your shoulder one time is enough. Women can do a lot more than you giving us credit for right there, baby girl. Come on now. It took her 6 times to fire a pistol because she wasn't strong enough or something. I mean, I think that's what she's supposed to do that all the time. It's kind of her job, right? She should be pretty good at it. Oh, come the fuck on.
You know, I've got anxiety. I got all kinds of stress and depression, and one of the big things is you can not even think something about me, but if I think you think something about me, it bothers me. And that's already done because people out there already know that you think I did something.
Sorry, Forrest, I just saw your question. No, the casing was found allegedly the same day the girls were found under the ground, like 2 inches in the ground. And they found it because somebody caught a shimmer of a light. And they found it and held it in evidence for 5 years. They tested multiple other guns in this case of other people they looked into, including Brad Weber, who lives at the south end of the bridge. The same guy who supposedly startled R.A. the day he drove by in his van, which is a whole different time than they actually said he did. All on video. So, and his gun could not be ruled out as the gun that bullet came from. Just like it couldn't be ruled in or out that it came from Rick Allen's, but here we are.
I don't think,
And I didn't. Okay.
Rick, I don't think that. The evidence clearly indicates you're involved.
Right.
So if you were in my seat and I had you saying you're out there, witnesses saying you're out there at the same time with the girls, and now after a search warrant of your house.
Yeah, Truth, I know that the bullet they found was ejected, hun, not fired. But the bullet they're showing in that picture was fired. That is how they determined it was his bullet. Come from his gun, not by an extraction not from it just ejected alone. They literally fired the gun, which the bullet they recovered was never fired. So
We find a gun, your gun. Have you owned that gun, right?
I do.
When did you buy it?
Oh my gosh. I don't even remember. I mean,
2001. I'll
Okay.
check for you. I know a lot of the answers to the questions I'm going to ask you, but I'm just trying to give you the opportunity to be honest. That's
Okay.
why I asked the question. So you bought it in 2001 in Peru.
Okay.
And I asked you, have you ever loaned anything out? I gave you scenarios. No. So that's your gun. Either you had that gun or somebody had that gun. Because there's no way that round gets on that property where these two girls were killed without that gun being there. And you're there, your car's there, witnesses say
There is no way a round from my gun was anywhere near the girls, the bridge. It just didn't happen.
And listen, we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you prove
No,
it.
you're trying to accuse me of murdering two little. Calm me down, you ask me a few questions, you ask me what I'm wearing, and I tell you what I think I was probably wearing that day, and then you try to say that I'm saying that's me in that picture. And it's not.
You don't have to say that.
I'm done.
Well, I have a warrant for your
I know you
DNA.
do.
For your DNA first. What do you think I have a warrant for? You know I have a warrant. What?
I figure you're gonna arrest me.
come on, Holman. What do you think I'm gonna warrant for? Well, no shit. You got a warrant for my arrest. That's why I'm sitting here.
Obviously think I've done it. The damage is done. Go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
Well,
This doesn't just go away.
I know.
Exactly.
The only person I think can explain all this is you, and you're not explaining it to me.
I don't know what it is you want me to explain.
Joe. Did Joe leave me? He may have had to go.
No, I'm still here.
All right. So, Truth Honey, are you saying that the expert they called upon racked the slide? They were comparing unfired ejected rounds. Is that true, Joe?
She did both. Oberg did tried to eject unspent rounds, and then she also did fire live rounds too. And the comparisons that she made were to the ejected shell casings fired to the unspent round, to the tool marks on the unspent round.
Exactly.
What were you doing on the bridge? How did your round get there? And why did you kill these two girls? Or why were you involved in this? What was your involvement?
I had no.
I don't think. Listen, Rick. I don't think you're the one that killed them. I don't think you're the one that sent them.
Holman, you're such a
Are you that guy?
liar.
Really?
Are you? I'm
No.
asking you.
Anybody that knows me knows I could never, even if I wanted to, do something like that. That's
Then
not
what
who I
happened?
am.
Then what happened?
I can't tell you. How do you expect me to tell you? You want me to make up a story and
No, the truth. The truth is simple. You don't have to make that up. You just go back and tell me the truth. You
I've
can't
told
tell me
you.
that this event has not been weighing on you for years and years and years. You were out there.
I've told you that. I don't know what you want me to do at this point. I did not murder two little.
I've been so nice
Oh,
to
let's
you.
see.
I've been so nice to
Oh,
you.
yeah, you're being nice. You're trying to get me to confess to something I had nothing
I'm
to do
trying to
with.
get you to tell the truth. I'm not trying to trick you. I've drawn out what we have.
It-
Most of it.
You
I'm not
assume
saying all
it's
of
the
it.
truth, and it's not.
It has to be the truth. The scientists don't lie. The science doesn't lie.
That's awesome.
It's saying that round came from your gun.
I don't understand all that. All I'm telling you is there's a way that around from my gun, the one that you took from my house, ended up next to a murder scene or anywhere else. I don't know where you got that bullet. If it came out of my gun.
Right there. That's the
Then
round.
it didn't come out of my gun.
That round was
Then
collected.
it didn't come out of my gun.
Rick, that round was collected on the 14th of February 2017.
Okay.
It's been in evidence ever since.
Okay.
All right, and we've compared other weapons to that.
I understand what you're saying, but I can't explain it.
We've compared other weapons to that.
Wait, what's the data? This is October
This is the
26th. How much time have they had to do the comparison and the testing?
On Rick's
This is
gun, none, but on Weber's and them, because they took 3 other guns.
Oh, right. Okay,
Right?
gotcha.
He's talking about the other
Right.
suspects.
I
or
thought he
the-
was talking about like since they executed the search warrant. I was
No,
like,
no, he
what?
was speaking about the other guns, like Weber's gun and what's his name's gun. Yeah.
I'm just telling you that if that was next to a murder site or anywhere near it, it didn't come out of my gun. And I don't know where you would have got one that did come out of my gun.
Right there. It was there. It was found right there.
Okay.
And I don't think you realize the severity of this. You realize the death penalty is on the table for this?
You know what? I don't really care about living at this point. I've dealt with not wanting to live for 7, 8 years now. It's been a long fucking battle. And with what you guys have done to me, kill me. I don't give a fuck. You'll make my wife rich. So
Is that what she wants? Is that what your daughter wants?
they don't want any of this to even be happening.
Well,
They made a big deal about that statement in court, too.
Yep.
Exactly.
I can't turn this back.
Exactly.
You were there. You're there.
Yep.
The experts say that's you on the video.
Okay.
The experts are saying you said down the hill to the girls. The experts are saying all this. That all the evidence indicates you were out there. The witnesses saw you. The witness saw you. You said you didn't see anybody else on the bridge, but there was a girl that walked up, a lady, that walked up and saw you on the platform, right?
Okay.
You didn't see her, and then right after that, these 2 girls that end up dead, minutes later, walk by her, and she looks back and sees them passing you? You're the last person to have contact with Abby and Libby? Your weapon, your gun out of your weapon is...
I've never contacted Abby and Libby. I've never even met them.
That day? Why?
I didn't.
That's all I want to know, is the truth. You're not willing to...
I've told you the truth. Do what you need to do.
Okay. Well, let me get the... I have the warrant here for your DNA, and then let me step out and see. And they'll come in and swab you with it.
That's fine.
Well, I'm trying to help you, but... All right, I think they
I
got
tried
the
to
warrant,
help
so
you, but-
hang on 1 second.
Mm-mm.
I have to read it to you. It's to law enforcement, reference DNA standard vehicle swab. You're hereby authorized and ordered in the name of the state of Indiana to take a DNA standard of Richard M. Allen by vehicle swab. So basically, I'll just swab the inside of your cheek.
Okay.
Compare that to any DNA that we have. Okay. You are further ordered to any means necessary to seize Richard Allen and to take a vehicle swab. You're being cooperative, so we don't have to worry about that. But if you weren't, we could get it any means necessary. To compare the evidence of the crime, you are furthermore ordered to seize such property or any part thereof found on such search, and that you bring the same or any part therefore forthwith before me to be disposed of according to law. So basically, we take it, we can't dispose of until the judge says so. So we'll keep this, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything in your mouth?
No.
No. Turn my way for me. Just turn your body.
Just turn my body.
Yeah. All right, open your mouth.
Other side.
Oh no, Carrie. She found out he was talking about the wall up behind the scenes.
Well, ball's in your court, Rick.
You just took my DNA.
Which
So
doesn't
what you
match
were
the
telling
damn
me out
thing.
there, it's over, huh?
The damage is done. I don't know.
I'm sorry that you think this is funny and you keep laughing. Maybe it's just a nervous laugh, I don't know, but I'm trying to help you. Yes. Why is all this evidence clearly indicating that you're involved?
I can't tell you that. And what you're talking to me about is a bullet that was found by the murder scene next to...
It's more than just that. You have to listen to me for just 2 minutes straight. Just forget.
More than just that. No, sir. Earlier it was we got your car, a picture of your car, and we got a picture of you. And we have a voice analysis guy that says that's your voice. And we have this bullet. But now you're going back. What else you got, Holman? We never saw it.
Forget about everything else. Okay? The girls have a video of you. Experts are saying without a doubt that is you on the bridge, that is your voice. How they do it, I don't know, I'm not an expert.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. We have 5 witnesses that see you out there on the bridge with the girls.
Don't see that.
Right? Why don't you see that? I'm not lying to you.
Because it didn't happen.
It did happen.
There could have been somebody that seen me that I didn't see. What I'm telling you is they didn't see me anywhere near the girls or anybody else because I wasn't around anybody that day. So I'm done answering. Like, I know you're trying to trick me into saying
No, I'm
that.
not tricking you.
I don't care how stressed out I get. I'm not going to fucking admit to something that I had nothing to do with.
I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not trying to trick you.
I didn't.
Listen, I have a full hand of cards here. I'm not laying all my cards on the table.
Okay.
I'm telling you bits and pieces, hoping that you will realize that without a doubt we have you out there at the time of the merger. It clearly indicates that you're involved in this. Clearly.
It does not. There is nothing that you could have that's going to indicate me because I wasn't out there.
And you don't think that you're around like 6 inches away
I
from
know
dead
that
girl's
a round from my gun did not end up at a murder scene.
You're wrong.
Okay.
And the proof is right here.
I don't believe it. I mean...
Well, you're going to.
I'm not.
You said you didn't want to be the fall guy. You're being the fall guy. Because you won't give us your side of the story. The truth.
I don't care.
You should care.
They just blame
You're not going to prove
the fall
I
guy.
did something I didn't do.
You're exactly right. We're not. We're going to
Okay.
prove what you did. Your involvement in this.
Involvement. What was my involvement?
You tell me. You were there.
And I
wasn't
told you
there.
I had nothing to do with it. I told you I never even seen
I
it.
wasn't there. I'm not on video. 4
Neither
witnesses
am I.
didn't see me. 4 or 5 witnesses didn't see me out there, and I can.
Me either.
And my round wasn't out of my gun. Wasn't 6 inches away from a dead girl's foot.
Mine either.
I'm telling you, you're living in this world,
Okay.
and I don't know why. I'm showing you some of the evidence that we have. And I'm giving you the opportunity to give your narrative, because if you don't, they're going to make it up. And you know, it's media, not even media. Media is.
And guess what? They
social
did.
media.
They did. And they convicted him on it.
He gonna try to blame the media for making shit up.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying the
Y'all
media
made
made
up.
stuff up.
No,
I'm
I know
saying,
you know, he said it.
yeah.
He just tried to say, but no, that
No,
wasn't what, and he knows it. this shit. The media ain't even
Yeah.
heard yet. You got a man arrested, but here you are getting ready to throw media under the bus because they're fixing to pop off with some shit. But y'all were the ones manufacturing
Yeah.
stories.
Truth exposed. No, he cannot get up and leave. This is after the arrest warrant. So
Yeah.
he is under arrest.
At this point, he just gave up his DNA, girl.
Portray you as this monster. Are you a monster?
They're already going to do that. You've already talked.
When you get arrested for
It
this?
doesn't even matter because I actually care about what people think.
Yeah, you do.
I said I do. I actually care about
I know
what
you
people
do.
think. That's why.
So do I. That's
you've
why I'm
already
here.
done the damage. How am I supposed to? Never mind.
No, please.
How many people in chat?
I just
clear this up in my head.
I just don't know how I'm supposed to act like this never.
How many people in chat watched our Jerry Holman interview review after Hidden True Crime did it, and then I got copyright struck, but then the copyrights were removed. So we can go back and watch that again if you guys want, because Hidden True Crime did an interview with Jerry Holman.
Well, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to make it a show, Joe, and do that and compare, right?
Yep.
Because I'd love to do that. I know we both had a full plate this week and ongoing with the trial and all going on, but we will get that together for sure.
Never happened.
And I also want to hold maybe like I want to air The Reckoning in Carroll County for those who have not seen that, and how it involves Officer Dan Doolin and different shady things about Carroll County. So, yeah.
You can't.
I'm not saying the murder. I'm saying
That's exactly what you're saying. Your conscience is trying to tell you this is the day. This is the time. This is time to get out in front of this, Rick. You made a mistake.
Today's
You
the
got in the
day.
middle of this. You got in the middle of this. You cannot explain all the evidence away. And you're saying, oh, that's not me. I'm just telling you what we have. Some of what we have.
Okay.
And we're still working on other things.
Okay.
What other things?
I'm not going to
said
tell
it.
you I did something I didn't do.
I don't want you to say.
End of story.
And I appreciate that. What did you do? What is your involvement? Who else? You know, I have 100 different questions, but if you're not willing to tell the truth, it's a waste of your time and mine.
Why they keep asking about who else, mastermind, all this stuff? Because you got DNA that you can't account for?
And you're going down for something that you have maybe some involvement in. And maybe this is all you.
Where's this guy that's saying that I helped him?
You tell me. I'm not saying that. Did I say today that somebody...
You're saying that I was involved. Well, if I didn't do it, but I'm involved, what are you saying? If you got somebody saying I helped them do it, they're fucking crazy.
Okay. I never said that. Did I? I just said you're involved. What is your involvement? Is that a theory that some people may have that
I don't know.
Coleman, you're planting the theory.
All the truth. I just want you to be
done.
just completely honest with me.
If you're gonna arrest me, arrest me. I'm not talking anymore. This is ridiculous.
I just thought maybe you would appreciate my effort to help you. I mean,
Oh my God.
because after today I can't help you.
I understand that.
You do understand.
No, you don't, Rick. No,
Oh.
you don't
Need
understand
your help.
that. No.
He's going to make me need another gummy, dude.
Yeah.
Ooh, wee. Oh, golly.
You need help.
He doesn't
You don't
need
think
your
this-
help, Jerry. He doesn't
You mean
need
this is
your help.
important?
Not Jerry.
I think that
No.
nothing that you have is going to show me
No.
anywhere near the murder of 2 little girls.
And
That's
you're
what
right,
I'm telling
Rick.
you.
I'm telling you.
You're
you
right.
have that.
You don't. It's not possible.
It is possible.
Whatever.
I don't know
Well, I
why they...
apologize.
I'm already been dealing with bullshit, having to worry about what you've said to my neighbors, what you've said to the people I work with. That's more than I want to deal with. I'm not going to sit here and do this.
Okay. All right, sit tight.
All right, this is a good time to break so I can go get some stuff done.
Okay. Well, I really don't want to finish it without you. So what I'm going to do is
Okay.
mark the timestamp down, and we can pick it back up tomorrow at some point. I'm available all day, so whatever your schedule looks like, if you want to do something tomorrow, you can let me know because I know I have my show on Sunday. I know you got to gear up for the week as well with the trial and everything. So we'll get together and work that out.
All right, sounds good. I'll let
Sound good?
I'll try and get Kresha nailed down, which is sometimes difficult to do, but
Yeah,
I'll let
it
you know.
doesn't matter if like morning, evening. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to be home all day tomorrow. I usually do not stream on Saturdays anyway, so I have no plans for tomorrow. I think I have the whole house to myself all weekend, and it's kind of exciting.
All
Nice
right.
and quiet, just me and the damn animals. So I'm going to write the timestamp down, guys, and we can come back and review. Joe and I will set this up, and we'll get it out there and let you guys know what time to look for the next episode. We'll call it because when we finish this interview here, we move into the 8 phone calls, and they're not like lengthy phone calls. They're prison calls, so they're not going to be as lengthy, but they're important to go back and listen to. And Joe, eventually they're going to bring Kathy into the room and stuff, and you're going to get to see that dynamic. So I want to hear your take on that as well. I appreciate you guys coming in this morning, being here all week long. You guys have been amazing. We've been watching Lori's trial. We've been following Joe's Twitter feed during the trial. We've been getting our little message updates from Joe. We appreciate you, Joe, on the ground there in Arizona for us. It's been fun because we'll check your Twitter periodically, and we're trolling you, dude.
I give you little sneak peeks about what you're going to see in a
Yeah,
little
we
bit.
know. We're okay. It's like Miss Shorty is in the future. Now we got Joe in the future. So uh, we look forward to your little sneak peeks. We're like, okay, we know this is coming up. So it's been good coverage, and we appreciate it. Camp Shorty, yes, ma'am. I'll be there at 5 o'clock. Like a Pokemon, can you drop her link into the chat before we go for anybody who doesn't have it? You guys go over and check her out. I'll be over there tonight at 5 Eastern. Why do I keep forgetting, guys? It's 5 Eastern before Central. Yes, see, I'm glad I looked again because I'd have been like an hour late for the thing. We're going to be discussing the Brian Koberger case over there this evening. And then back on my channel on Sunday, I will have Miss Shorty and Firefly will join me for Karen Reid's show to gear up for the trial there. I'm hoping Lori's ends before Karen's begins. Because, man, we had to play catch up for the day we missed of Lori's day 3 we missed because we were watching the Koberger hearing all day, which was well worth it. But the next morning, I went ahead and covered day 3 to get it into the playlist and so we could be caught up. You know what I mean? So, been a busy week for all of us around here in true crime. But I appreciate all you guys coming in and y'all checking out Joe in the evenings for his evening recaps over there. You've been doing that with
Trial TV
Trial
Live.
TV. I always say their name wrong because I didn't want to say it wrong. Trial TV Live. That is who Joe has been over there working with at night, getting. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Pokemon. I appreciate that. So yeah, you guys tune in and get your updates. Watch the trial.
And I've got my thing with Kresha sometimes this weekend, but at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, to 2 o'clock my time, 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central. I've got my interview with juror number 18, Tom Evans, was a juror in Lori's Idaho trial, and
Is that on Sunday?
Yep, that's Sunday afternoon.
Okay, let's get Joe's link in here as well. I need to wrap my show up before because I'm not going on until I think 10 or 11 because I'm trying to accommodate Shorty a little better there. She has to. Well, she says she didn't mind. She's up that early anyway because her time is so strange. Oh, I was like, what do you mean, truth? Like, and yeah, okay, I see what somebody says now. AT. Okay. All right, guys. Did we get Joe's link dropped in there? Let me see. I can do that real quick.
Forrest just hit it. Forrest
okay,
got
thank you, Forrest. My guys are on, and you got Trial TV in there as well. Thank you. Thank you, my super mods, Forrest and Pokemon. I appreciate you guys so much. All right, guys. It has been a long week. Joe's had a long week, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day. I'll see you guys tonight at Miss Shorty's. Joe, we'll see you tomorrow at some point, we'll let you guys know.
All right. See everybody
All right.
later.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great
Thank
afternoon.
you all for watching this here video.